Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a sound check to make sure that the sound for the stream is working properly. Connor, go ahead.
Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. About 17 minutes until warm-ups. 1, 2, 3.
Puck drop's going to be at about 7 p.m. tonight. Eastern Washington versus Wazoo. Night 2 of this Pac-8 weekend. The Cougs got the win last night, but they're dropping the puck yet again in Cheney. Tonight, we'll see how it shakes out. I'm Smith Slye, along with Connor Simmons, who will be on play-by-play for the first period tonight. We will see you at around warm-ups.
This is a KUGR sports production,
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He stopped at the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, back to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
37-39 were the shots on net. Similar stats in every single category, but the one stat that does matter was the scoreboard, and that scoreboard had the WSU Cougars winning 5-3 on night number 1. I'm Connor Simmons, joining the booth with my partner in crime, Smith Slye, for night number 2 in Eastern Washington. In Cheney, Washington, where the Eastern Washington Eagles take on the WSU Cougars for KUGR Hockey. Smith, it seems like Coach Lupinacci's on the nice list. He got his first win against Eastern Washington his whole entire coaching career here at WSU. How are we feeling about this game? How are we feeling about how the WSU Cougars played last night?
Well, if you ask anybody in the locker room, if you ask Coach Lupinacci, all of them, they couldn't tell you when the last time it was that they had beat Eastern Washington. But now, you ask them tonight, they'll tell you they beat them last night. They get that 5-3 win against them. It's massive for the program. Nobody in that locker room has ever recorded a win against Eastern, so the vibes were pretty high last night when we were going and talking to them outside the locker room. But the thing for the Cougs that might make them a little bit nervous about tonight is that notoriously this program has struggled playing on Saturday. They play great on Friday nights, but then when it turns over to the second half of the weekend, you gotta play Saturday. They tend to kind of fall apart a little bit. We saw that when they played against Idaho a little bit earlier in November. First night, they shut them out 9-0, and then the second night, they came out and kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit. Drew Ramsey had a little bit of a rough performance. So for the Cougs, it's all about breaking the stereotype, breaking the narrative that's been written for you so far this year, and playing a really good Saturday night match. Even if you don't get a win, you just got to keep it competitive, as even that's a little bit better than it's been for them so far this year. But it's going to be hard when you have someone out of your lineup like Max Lazaro.
Well, it was a situation where he comes down and hits a guy. They both had the wind knocked out of him. I believe it was the ankle problem, was the injury that we were able to figure that out. But going back to what Eastern Washington had on us the last 5 years, no one in the locker room got a win until last night. And that just doesn't really make sense when you're looking at all the numbers, looking at all the stats. Is okay, it's one thing if it's Washington, one thing if it's Western Washington, who are having these amazing seasons the past couple years. Eastern Washington just seemed to always have a number, at least the past 5 years. Not because they were good or anything, but it was just, hey, we always beat the Cougars, and maybe that turns around this weekend. Going into this matchup, it's going to come down to Alexia Kuhl versus who we think is going to be next, Scubiala or Anderson, which it doesn't really matter, like you brought up, because these goaltenders aren't having the greatest years possibly.
Absolutely, yeah. If you look at the stats for all three of these goaltenders, it was Sam Brash last night. His save percentage is now at an .858, so below 900. He's averaging about 5.66 goals a game. You look over at Scubiala, he's got an .821 save percentage and 7.43 goals against average, which is absolutely nuts. If you have if you're averaging 7 goals against you in the NHL, you're not going to be.
You're not in the NHL.
Exactly. And then you look over at Riley Anderson. He's got a save percentage of .869%, with averaging about 4.84 goals per game. So again, like we mentioned, it doesn't really matter who you roll out. They're probably going to struggle a little bit. Goaltending has been the problem for the Eagles all year this year. Like you kind of mentioned, Connor, it doesn't necessarily make sense that the Cougs haven't really been able to pick up a win against the Eastern Eagles in so many years. Because when you really think about it, the Eastern Eagles are very much a mirror image of the Cougs. The programs are very, very similar in terms of who they lose against and who they beat in the Pac-8. The Cougs got swept by Cal Berkeley, swept by the University of Washington, swept by Western Washington. And what did the Eagles do? They got swept by Cal Berkeley, swept by Washington, swept by Western. They lose against the same teams that the Cougs do, and they beat the same teams that the Cougs do as well. And in terms of talent-wise, they have basically the same amount of talent, unless you got guys like Joel Lusk on the Eagles, who's second place in the pack for points. He's got 31 assists, 12 goals. He picked up an assist last night when he fed Jared Jelinek out in front for a goal. You got, Dom Dezerkis, who's got 18 goals, 13 assists as well. So you got a roster that is just packed with point grabbers for the Eagles, but that doesn't necessarily make them better than the Washington State Cougars. They proved that last night. So, I mean, the question is are the Eagles going to come out tonight a little bit more physical, a little bit more aggressive? They play an aggressive brand of hockey, so it's going to be interesting to see if maybe they're a little bit more physical, a little bit more pushy, a little bit more shovey with the Cougars tonight.
Oh, no doubt about it. Like, it's so similar. Going back to just last night's game, almost every single stat was similar. It was a very close game, and throughout the season, it's been a pretty similar season, as they're only 3 games back from the WSU Cougars. That is a very close, so far the whole entire regular season, it's been very close between both of those teams, so I expect to be relatively pretty even again today. Like we said, it's going to be the pushback from the Eagles, or is the Cougars going to keep their pedal down on the metal? With that in mind, we're about to get to the national anthem, and we'll be with you guys for Puck Drop. I'm Connor Simmons, join the Smith Slye. We'll see you guys at Puck Drop. Thank you. With Puck Drop about to get underway, something we should bring up is that the Eastern Eagles are pretty top-heavy on the team. Their first 2 lines, they have 4 guys above 30 points, which is unbelievable. And they go to the Cougars, a very depth squad, as you had a third liner, like you like to call him, the freshman phenom, dropped a hat trick last night. So do you think that comes into play tonight, Smitty?
Well, absolutely. When we were talking with Coach Ubanachi, he was saying that he likes to remind David Bushkin that, yes, you are a third liner, you know, but he's still a point grabber. He's still able to score goals when it matters, and we saw that all game last night. First period, he comes in, gets the first goal of the night. Then you'll have to flash forward till the third period. He gets another goal, and then he gets an empty netter to secure the hat trick. So his first hat trick in his Cougar career, which is absolutely massive for the program. We talked with Cole Carlson. He said that he was super happy to see one of the young guys on the team, the young talent, being able to get it done as well. And Cole Carlson had a great game as well. He had a penalty shot goal that he was able to net. He had another goal late in that third period to help kind kind of propelled the Cougs to that 5-3 win. So, I mean, if you have David Bushkin clicking, you know, maybe on the third or fourth line, that adds such incredible depth that a lot of teams in the ACHA just do not have. The Cougs have a really good first line, but their third and fourth lines as well are also capable of producing.
And as puck drop is about to happen, you have Keegan Lucas and Sam Hembry helping Alexi Cool out on defense. Cole Carlson on the left wing, Samuel Sahoven at center, and Luke Jurgensen, who hasn't got his first goal yet, but has a lot of orange juice, a lot of chemistry with this first line on the right wing. As puck drop is now get underway, Cougars versus Eastern Washington Eagles. Cougars took game one. Bunch of turnovers sent into the zone. Cole Carlson with a clear all the way to Luke Jurgensen behind the net of Anderson. Samuel Sahoven and now behind, falls and slips over, tries to pass it on the ground. Now there's battle on the boards between Sahoven and Carlson and two Eagle defenders, and the Eagles are able to get it out. Good pass over to Jared Jelinek, moving in by himself. Pretty fast. Alexiu Cool doesn't get enough padding on the shot as it cleared wide right. Another battle on the boards towards the left face-off circle in Cougar zone. Samuel Sahoven re-clears and checks it back up. Cougars bringing up the ice, across center ice right now. Clears it back into the zone. And some subs are being made for the Cougars. Samuel Sahoven on the forecheck against the Eagles. Eagles bringing up all by themselves now. Almost a big, massive hit right there. Stolen away. Cougars clear it back into the zone. Behind the net of Anderson. Kins Kelly is going to be the Cougar to touch up for them. Stolen away. Eagles keep possession. Brought up by themselves is number 13. Carson Kendall has had a pretty good year so far. Him and Lucas Robinson will battle behind the net. Alexia Cool tries to center out in front. Nothing found. Keeping it in the zone is number 28. Liam McGowan. Up in center ice, just can't get enough on his stick as the Eagle centerman. Kins Kelly gets hit right at center ice. Massive hit right there. But Nico Umale is able to keep possession and just avoid a little bit more possession time. Dom Dezerkis crossing center ice, passes up to his man on his right wing. Is number 13, Carson Kendall Watkins, trying to clear it out in front. Do we have Alexi Cool's able to get a last second, his right leg there just in time, and the Eagles are gonna have to retouch as it clears the zone.
Man, that's definitely scary if you're the Cougs there. That was almost a bit of, not necessarily a garbage goal. It was almost kind of pretty, but wasn't really sure if the Eagles were actually even intending to do that. That was Nickish, Jacob Nickish, one of the Nickish brothers, who almost got a tally early on in this first period.
Lucas Robinson with the puck behind the net of Alexia Cool as the Eagles had a retouch for an offside goal. Trying to get up to David Bushkin, just can't. It's cleared back in. Just a lot of turnovers going back and forth right now. Smith, as another Eagle falls to the ground. A lot of guys slipping so far early on in this hockey game with 17 minutes and 50 seconds left in this first period. So far, not a lot of shots. Another shot on Alexi Cool, able to see it clearly and gloves it down.
One of the things I want to touch on is early in this period, you saw the connection between Joel Lusk and Jared Jelinek. We saw that connection last game where Lusk was able to feed Jelinek out in front. And that's the thing about Joel Lusk. He's second in the pack for points, and very similar to Andrew Fan, he's not necessarily a goal-heavy guy. He's an assist-heavy guy. He sets up his teammates, and he makes everyone on that team better. So I'll be interested to see how that connection kind of flourishes tonight.
On the far face-off circle in Cougar zone, Sahoven loses it. Back out to the Eagle defenseman, rips one on net. Alexi Cool steers it down once again with his glove, flashing some leather.
Yeah, the Cougs are rolling out Lexi Cool again tonight because we mentioned on broadcast that they no longer have Drew Ramsey. He left the team for personal reasons after the Collegiate Classic. So Lexi Cool has got a tough mountain to climb here for the rest of the season.
Right back out to the Eagles defenseman, number 14, Jeff Lenov. Sahoven behind the net of Alexia Cool once again with puck possession, all by himself. Tries to clear it up to Cole Carlson, just a little bit too far. His number 17, McGuire Tierney, is able to steal away from him. Clear back in. Lex Ballard tries to get in. Tierney now with puck possession, all by himself in Eagle zone. Clears it out to no man's land at center ice. Another turnover. Luke Jurgensen trying to get it. Sahoven slaps it back into Eagle zone. A lot of turnovers at the center ice. No team's really got anything going for them right now. Clearing it back up, all by themselves. Jared Jelinek, some of the best hands in the league. Rips one, a quick little wrist shot. Alexi Cool's able to steer it away, though. Sahoven tries to clear it up to Luke Jurgensen. He's able to get it out. No, he's not able to get it up. Wyatt Perry almost had a quick little break right there, but bringing it back in is Joel Lusk. No. Number 9, Sean Smith. My apologies. Tries to clear back in front to Sean Smith, keeping puck possession at the blue line. Another one trickles away off Sam Hembry's stick. Him and Wyatt Perry battling on the boards against Sean Smith, another Eagles offenseman. Evan King even gets in the scrum there. Just no one's able to win it right now on the boards. Sam Hembry's trying to clear it out. Good pass from the Eagles defenseman right over to Keegan Lucas. It looked to be another bad pass by the Cougars. Just nothing's happening right now, Smith, for either team.
Yeah, the Eagles are doing a really good job, though, of just firing pucks on net. They're not necessarily the most pretty shots or the best wrist shots, the best slam shots, but they're just kind of wrapping around, trying to throw something out in front. And if it tips in, then they'll take it.
Jared Jelena can't get enough on his stick as two more guys hit the ice. It seems to be ice is pretty slippery today. Want to take a guess for that. Bringing it in all by himself is number 19, Joel Lust. Tries to center it. Can't be found. Sam Hembry looks to clear it. No, hits Lust's stick. I believe keeping it in the zone is Dom Dezerkis. Makes two guys miss. Dom Dezerkis looking to get something going. Tries to make another miss. Is that Wyatt Perry doesn't have a stick in his hand? Battling against Sam Hembry behind the net of Lexi Cool. Tries to clear it up to Hank Hamlet. Hank Hamlet with a bad pass. Gets it stolen away from out in front of the net. Lexi Cool. They score! Number 26, Jacob Nickish.
That is absolutely beautiful. I was just dogging on the Eagles that saying their scoring opportunities weren't exactly the most pretty, but that was definitely a pretty goal. You got Dom Dezerkis, who just kind of chips it onto the stick of Nickish, who just kind of chips it in. It was very similar to the goal we saw with Joel Lusk and Jared Jelinek last game. So, I mean, the Eagles just doing a really good job with those tip-in goals.
Well, and the Eagles get on the board early as they score with 15 minutes and 30 seconds left remaining in this first period. And the WSU Cougars don't even have a shot in this game across 5 minutes. Cadence Kelly's able to steal it in Eastern Zone. Nico Umale and Cadence Kelly going back and forth with each other. Nico Umale with the puck on his stick, tries to clear it out. It's going to be found in number 8, Ethan Maurer. Makes two defenders miss. The defender tries to get a shot on net, and he does. It's a pretty easy save for Anderson right there, but that is the first shot of the game for the WSU Cougars with 15 minutes and 3 seconds left in this first period. Eastern Washington now up 1-0.
Yeah, it was the freshman Ethan Maurer who was there to kind of just chip it right into the chest of Anderson. And Ethan Maurer, he was a guy who was started out this year as a freshman, his first year as a Cougar. He started playing a few of those games, was scratched for a good chunk of the year, and now he's found himself back on the kind of regular rotation. So I'll be interested to see how he kind of develops over his time here. He's only got 1 goal so far this year, but we'll see maybe he turns into a points grabber.
Faceoff was won by the Cougs. A missed shot by Samoa Hovinen clears all the way around the boards. Lucas Robinson trying to keep it in, and he does not. Ethan Maurer, though, clears it back into the zone, just left of Anderson's stick. Eagles stolen again by the Cougs. Cole Carlson looking to find a man. Wrist shot. Good angle right there. Tried a little McDavid action with that angle, but just can't get it on net. Cleared back in by the Cougars. Number 16. Dawson Bunch is going to be the one to touch, as he had a goal last night of the 3 goals the Eagles had. Back and forth, Samoa Hovinen able to steal it, clears it back in. It's going to be just left of Anderson once again. A minute gone. Cougars keeping it in Eastern Washington zone, and they keep it again. Yes, almost there. Just can't get enough possession time on the Eagles zone as they run into each other. Samoa Hovinen and Cole Carlson. Just miscommunication. Another shot on Lexi Cole. Saves it this time, though. But almost a miscommunication mistake leads to a 2-0 hockey game, Smith. Trying to clear it once again, and it's all the way up to Cole Carlson. Cole Carlson had 2 goals last night in the game-winning goal. Clears it out in front, shoots and scores! Number 15, Lucas Clark, finds himself all by himself, and a good wrist shot ties this game up.
That was absolutely amazing. With Max Lazaro injured in last night's game, the Cougs lean on Lucas Clark, the brother of Micah Clark on this team, to kind of fill that spot, and immediately he makes an impact. Fresh off the change, you got Cole Carlson coming up ice. He sees him, he's calling for the puck all day long, gets it to him, and that's just too easy to beat Anderson.
And that does not happen without a Lexi Cool save, because it was 2-on-1 going the whole other way as Cole Carlson and Samoa Hovinen ran into each other, which almost led to a 2-0 hockey game, but it flips on its head, and it's now a tie hockey game with 13 minutes and 40 seconds left remaining in this first period. Cougars trying to get something going in the zone. Tries to send out in front for David Bushkin. Sam Hembry and Keegan Lucas back. Going against Jared. No, it's number 11. Parker Waite. Parker Waite waiting for somebody in front of the net. Tries to get out in front, but a good stick right there by, I believe it was Matthew Taylor. Another shot stuck away by Keegan Lucas. Still up in front. Sam Hembry able to recollect the puck behind the net of Cool. Pushing up. Here comes David Bushkin. He got a hat trick last night. The freshman phenom looking for a man, and it's tipped away. Almost had it to his other freshman fellow, and Matthew Taylor. Sam Hembry at the point. Gets it stick down. That shot had some good velocity on it. Cougars trying to keep it in the Eagles zone out in front of Anderson's net. Hembry going to try and send it around the boards once again. Good job by him for getting there fast. Matthew Taylor and David Bushkin against 2 Eagle defenders. Bushkin's the one to come out of it. Sends it all the way out to Sam Hembry at the point. Hembry rips one on net. Almost a tipped goal by Nico Umale as it's able to hit Anderson. Again, try to send it out in front. Keegan Lucas doesn't go for it. It's not cleared away just yet. And Keegan Lucas and Sam Hembry are going to be the ones retreating as the Eagles are making a sub. Sam Hembry behind the stick of him, just another miscommunication. Jared Jelenek taking it all by himself. Him versus Keegan Lucas, rips it. Lexi Cool with the save, with a stick. Another shot just wide. Keeping it in the zone is the Eagles, though. Number 14, Jeff Lenov. He's able to keep it in. Keegan Lucas, long possession time for him, long shift for him. Trying to get up to Cadence Kelly was the Cougars. Cadence Kelly just can't get enough on his stick. Cleared back in. It might go all the way to number 19, Joel Lusk, behind the net of Alexia Cool. If he was just 1 second faster, that might have been a good opportunity for the Eagles. All around the boards, number 9, Sean Smith. Back out to Lusk. Now at the points, the Eagles defenseman. He weak shot back up to another save. Sean Smith gets a good opportunity, sends it into Alexia Cool's chest, but he's able to steer it down. Back out to number 14, Lenov. He shoots it high off the head. Way to use her head, Alexia Cool. Luke Jurgensen to try and clear it, and he does just in time. A little back and forth. These teams are trading off in possession time right now, Smith.
Absolutely. We saw it where Joel Lusk tried to feed him out in front on a wraparound opportunity. That seems to be his bread and butter. We'll see if he does it right now.
Joel Lusk behind the net of Lexi Cool. Will he follow Smith's directions? Goes out in front at the center ice, still with puck possession. Joel Lusk, good defense by some of the guys. Sends it out in front like Smith just said. Luke Jurgensen, good stick right there to keep it away. Clearing it all by himself. Here come the Cougs. Van Rayner bringing it up. One of the captains of this team. Leads the team in power play goals. Goes in by himself. Van Rayner trying to five-hole it, but just getting it to go. Keeps possession. Tries to send it out in front. Shoved down was Cadence Kelly. No, Cole Carlson. Cole Carlson subs in. Keeping it. Micah Clark bringing in once again. Micah Clark rips one on net. And saved by Anderson as they're blowing the whistle dead immediately. Micah Clark trying to get on the board just like his brother. With 10 minutes and 47 seconds left in this first period, 1-1 hockey game.
There was 2 shots there. You saw Van Rayner when he brought it in, backhanded it, tried to put a power move on, doesn't work. And then you have Micah Clark there, puts a bit of a weak shot on. So, I mean, I'm applauding the Cougs for putting shots on goal, but you got to set up some better quality opportunities because you can't score with not great opportunities on net.
And it is cleared away. Icing is called off as the ref said it was tipped by Micah Clark, I believe. Eastern beats out Micah Clark and almost gets a good opportunity on Alexi Cool there as he wasn't prepared. Clearing it away. Going in by himself is going to be a 3-on-3 break, but he doesn't pass it up, so the Eagles are able to steer it. Number 26, Jacob Nickish, who has the goal in this game, battling against Lex Ballard behind the net. Luke Jurgensen sends it up to Cole Carlson. Good stick right there, as that was Dom Dezerkis who got a goal last night, and they're calling, I believe they're calling offsides.
Yeah, Dom Dezerkis was a good play there. Forced a turnover, try and break it in. Of course, he just didn't quite have his head up. One of his other teammates didn't see where exactly they were on the ice, so he bring it in offsides. Miscommunication could have been a good opportunity for the Eagles. It kind of gets wiped away by being offsides there. But the Eagles are doing such a great job of denying zone entry for the Cougs and simultaneously sealing off the blue line when they are in the Cougars' half of the zone. If you can smother the other team in their own zone and you just refuse to let them enter into your zone, you're going to end up winning hockey games that way.
Clears it up to Dom Dezerkis. No, good stick right there by David Bushkin. And they're going to call offsides once again. Going back to the shots on net, it is a 1-1 hockey game, but the Eagles have been pretty dominant. If they have 9 shots compared to WSU's 4. So Eagles have started off pretty hot so far in this first period compared to last night's game.
Absolutely. When we were talking with the Cougars after last night's game, they said that the Eagles were going to come out a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive, and you're kind of seeing that a little bit tonight.
Elijah Nickish won the faceoff, but get it stolen away from him immediately. All the way to Lucas Clark, who has the goal. Trying to keep it in the zone. They're battling was David Bushkin. Just overskates it as Sam Hembry. All the way, can the Eagles get a shot? Tries to clear it out in front. The net is hit, and Alexi Cool just somehow finds an open bouncing puck and just immediately calls it dead.
That was a beautifully set up play there. Sterling Myers off the board into the zone for Dawson Bunch. He gets it on the gallop, tries to kind of find somebody out in front, but good job by Keegan Lucas to just kind of be a brick wall, almost like he's putting on a screen like in basketball, and just shuts down Dawson Bunch. Just says, no, you're not going to be able to put a power move on or even get a pass to anybody. So the defense for the Cougs really showing up in this first period.
On the near face-off circle was one against Van Rayner, but a couple sticks got in the way of it. Lucas Robinson following number 16, Dawson Bunch. The Dawson Bunch pass gets stolen away by Cadence Kelly. Cadence Kelly bringing it up, clears it into the zone against Tierney. Tierney shuts him off almost immediately, boxes him out, but Nick Umale with a good stick Try to get it out to Cadence Kelly, but nothing is found there. As number 16, Dawson Bunch, is able to steal it once again. Bringing it is Tierney, the big defenseman for Eastern. Tierney going in all by himself, looking to go behind the net of Alexi Cool. Just can't get there in time. Shoved off by Ethan Maurer. Tierney shot right into the chest of Alexia Cool, and is shut down immediately.
Yeah, it was a good effort from Ethan Maurer. He was trying to kind of stay with Tierney, trying to basically just playing man defense, trying to stay on him, try and keep him from getting to be able to pass anybody. But good job by Tierney. Kind of shakes him off, kind of makes Ethan Maurer miss when he was trying to hit him against the boards. Takes the puck, fires that shot on goal. Another great save by Alexi Cole. He's one of the best goaltenders in the entire Pack 8. He's got a .908 save percentage. He only averages about 3.85 goals a game, so it's going to be tough for the Eagles to get anything past Cool.
Okay, the Cougars with Cadence Kelly bringing it up. Sends one down. Nico Umale able to get out to Van Rainer. Wrist shot. Bouncing puck. Almost the rebound. Leads to a scramble in front of the net, but Anderson's able to recollect it immediately and pretty fast. That was you held your breath right there for Eastern Washington fan.
Absolutely. I mean, they were getting a little chippy there in the crease, kind of pushing and shoving each other a little bit. One thing I got to mention, and I hope I'm not jinxing it, there have been no penalties so far in this entire game. You're halfway through the first frame. Nobody has taken a seat in the sin bin so far, which is very uncharacteristic from how the game was yesterday.
Oh, no doubt about it. As Eastern was in there, I want to say almost every 5 minutes. With 8 minutes and 45 seconds left, almost 12 minutes have gone. As that might be it right there. No, they didn't call it, as I thought Smoot-Sahoven was tripped. The first line out is out for the Cougs. Luke Jurgensen and Cole Carlson on the forecheck. Smoot-Sahoven right there to help them. Good pass or a bad pass leads to it getting cleared. Lex Ballard's going to be the one to touch it. It's not going to be icing. Lex Ballard, been an amazing freshman defenseman so far this year for the WSU Cougars. Lex Ballard clears it out off the boards to Cole Carlson. Carlson all the way to Smoot-Sahoven crossing center ice. Sahoven all by himself. Rips one on net. Great save right there by Anderson as he just snags it. 8 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first period. And Anderson might have just robbed Smoot-Sahoven.
Smoot-Sahoven up the gut, wrist shot, a missile. And let me tell you, I would not have been surprised if that had beaten Riley Anderson. Like we said, he's not the best goaltender. He only had an .869 save percentage come into this game. He averages 4.84 goals a game. So the fact that he got a save like that, if you're the Eagles, you got to pat him on the back.
Oh, that was an amazing save and keeps them right in this game. Cole Carlson steals it at the blue line. Dom Dzerkis with a good stick to get it away from him pretty fast. Dom Dzerkis makes two guys miss. Cole Carlson, Smoot-Sahoven, and gets it stolen away. Cole Carlson behind the net. Number 12 blocks him off as that is Keegan Clark. WSU trying to keep it in the zone is Sam Hembry, but the Eagles are able to get it, trying to get it up and going now. A stick is on the ground, battle against the boards. Here comes Carson Kendall, number 21, Jordan Russell. Cole Carlson all by himself. A little weird possession time right there for the Eagles as a lot of them felt a little confused. All the way up to Evan King. Evan King tries to get a wrist shot. Anderson clears it wide behind the net of Anderson now. Evan King trying to keep with it. Sam Hembry at the point. Sends it right around the boards again. He gets hit. Hank Hamlet battling with an Eagle. Tries to clear it out to Evan King just a little bit too far though. Number 12, Keegan Clark with the possession behind the net of Anderson. Wyatt Perry's the one to touch up with him. Tries to get in front of the net. Hank Hamlet. Good shot, but a better save right there by Anderson. Evan King all by himself, tripped up, trying to get to Wyatt Perry. Nothing's found, though. At the point, Keegan Lucas rips it just high and wide. Keegan Lucas got hit hard on that shot, though. Dom Dzerkis clearing it out. Bringing it back into Sam Hembry. Sam Hembry avoids the Carson Kendall hit. And some subs are being made for the Cougars. Tips it in, no icing is going to be called. The ref's hand is up. And the first penalty of the game is going against the WSU Cougars. And the first power play of the game is going to be up for the Eagles. That is going to be number 33, Wyatt Perry.
That's definitely uncharacteristic from what I was expecting going into this game. Knowing the Eagles, they have the most penalty minutes out of anybody in the entire Pack 8. But so far, they've been playing fairly clean, but clean in the sense that they're not getting called. There have been some stuff down on the ice where Dom Dzerkis kind of pulled the stick out of the hands of Sam Hembry. They're kind of running into the guy, some interference, but it's not necessarily getting called. Eastern's really good at tiptoeing that line.
Almost at a 2-on-1 break, as we've talked about it multiple times, the Cougars might look better down a man than up a man. So with 6:35 left in this first period, the Eagles are going on the power play. Down a man is WSU. Skinning around the zone is the Eagles, trying to get it up to his man, Jared Jelenik. Shot on net. Another big tip is number 14, Jeff Lenev, who's had his imprint on the game so far. Matthew Taylor trying to clear it out of the zone, and it is cleared, and so the Eagles are going to have to regroup and retouch. Jared Jelenik getting past a couple defenders, but can't bring it in. Sean Smith now. Eagles looking to retouch. All by himself is number 17, Tierney. Tierney clears into the center zone, and it's cleared back in. Lex Ballard sticks it down, tries to clear it, does not get it to go. Stolen away by number 14, Jeff Lenov. All the way out, number 19, Joel Lusk. Lusk tries a bad pass, and it's cleared away by Lucas Robinson, and that is a minute gone in this power play. David Bushkin on the forecheck. He's going to win it. Bushkin going to probably try and clear up in front or hold it down. And he clears it away, wasting some more time. Van Rainer on the forecheck now. 45 seconds left in this power play. Jared Jelenic might be the man to take it in for the Eagles. Stolen away by Bushkin once again. He's been amazing on this penalty kill so far, having a long shift. Eagles got a 3-on-2 break right now, depending on how fast Van Rainer's going to get back. Moving by himself, Carson Kendall, number 13. Kendall tries to clear it up front, and it's cleared into the netting with 30 seconds exactly left on the power play.
Connor, it defies all logic that the Cougs somehow are better when they are down. I mean, it's definitely a question of, is there just too many cooks in the kitchen? When they have 5-on-5 hockey, they seem to struggle a little bit. And when they're on the penalty kill, they do really great. But like you said, the guy who kind of makes them really great on the penalty kill is David Bushkin. He's been on the penalty kill all year, and he's such a grind guy. He's that fourth-line guy, and every single time he's on the ice, he skates hard. He's able to make things happen. He makes something out of nothing.
Well, after a Luke Jurgensen cleared, Dom DeZerkis is the man to keep it in the zone. Trying to clear out in front is Carson Kendall. Nothing found there. Dom DeZerkis keeping these possessions alive for the Eagles. He seems like he's the only one trying. Dom DeZerkis ripped one. Almost a tip on net. Leads to a goal for the Eagles, but Dom DeZerkis keeps it in. Once again, a good save by Alexi Cool. Behind the net of him right now, the Eagles with the power play is officially over. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Almost had a one-timer for Dom DeZerkis. Tries to clear it out front. The shot just really wide left. Not a good opportunity right there for number 24, Sterling Myers. Battle on the boards, looking to go out front of Sterling Myers once again. Alexi Cool puts it down immediately and stops this game as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Well, we'll see how the Cougs do with 5-on-5. Like we said, somehow they do better when they're down a man, so maybe being on 5-on-5 is going to, they're going to struggle a little bit. Nonetheless, it means 1-1. You got 4 minutes, 32 seconds left in the first frame, and so far it's been very, very even. The Eagles have done a really good job of keeping the zone time down in the Cougars' half, but the Cougars have kind of been grinding a little bit. When they've gotten opportunities, they've been able to make the most of it. Of course, you got Lucas Clark able to score on that one opportunity, but let's see how maybe the rest of this period shakes out.
First line is out for the Cougs. Another tipper. Leads to Alexi Cool, or the puck going behind Alexi Cool's net. Trying to clear it out to Cole Carlson. Cole Carlson going to try and clear, and he does clear it. It's cleared to center ice. Cole Carlson still battling, takes a hit right there as he hits the ground. Samosa Hoven and bats it down with his hand. Carlson bringing it in the zone, going against 1-against-3, rips one. Good fast shot right there for the situation he had and slows this game down. But that still doesn't matter as the Eagles have double the WSU Cougars shots. It's 14-8. I know it's a 1-1 game, but are the opportunities better for the Cougs or better for the Eagles right now, Smith?
Well, Connor, the thing is, the Cougs, when they've worked on stuff in practice, they've been working on not just passing. They've worked on pass, shoot. But so far in this game, it's been a lot of break into the zone and shoot. They don't make the extra pass. A lot of times, making that extra pass is what's going to be the difference between you getting a glove save, a pad save, blocker save, versus being able to get a Gino, being able to get a goal. So if the Cougs can maybe make a few extra passes, they might be able to finally connect on Anderson.
Ethan Maurer gets juked out by Jared Jelenic. He's trying to keep it in the zone. Jelenic maybe going to try and center out in front. Good stick. Ethan Maurer sends it right back at him. Jelenic behind the net, battling against Ethan Maurer. A battle for the ages right now. Jared Jelenic and Ethan Maurer both going at it. Sends it around the boards. Luke Jurgensen's going to be the one to touch and beat out Sean Smith. Clears it out to Cole Carlson. Bad pass. Not going to be icing because it won't trickle down just far enough, but the whole Cougs team is making a rotation and making subs. Jared Jelenic killers it into the zone. Keegan Lucas hits him pretty hard. Sam Hembry moving in all by himself with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Just off his skate almost a little bit too much. Going in, they're missing one defender. Joel Lusk going to go 1-against-2. Keegan Lucas having a good stick so far in this game. 2 amazing plays right there. Clears it out to David Bushkin. David Bushkin on the near side. Rips one. Just beats out Anderson, but not on net. Keegan Lucas again trying to keep it in the zone. Cleared away. Number 13, Carson Kendall bringing it up. Kendall clears it into the Cougar zone all the way to Keegan Lucas once again. Saying his name a lot on his possession times. Clearing it back in. Another big tipper. Doesn't hit the net of Lexi Cool, but has to be prepared for it. Cleared away. Hits the net, or hits the hand of the referee. Might have stopped and slowed the puck down right there. Cleared away. At the point, number 12, Keegan Clark clears it back in. Now behind the net. Carson Kendall once again out in front. And Lexi Cool with the cat-like reflex gloves it down immediately and says, "No way, Jose."
Jacob Nickish was looking for goal number 2. That right there, it's been the formula for the Eagles in last night's game. It's been the formula for tonight's game as well. You kind of camp a little bit in Gretzky's office, feed somebody out in front. So far in this game, it's been Jacob Nickish. He gets denied there. Alexi Cool is he's like, I understand it now. I know how to stop this. He's figured it out. So we'll see if maybe the Eagles mix up the strategy a little bit.
On the far face-off circle, it is won by the Cougs. Micah Clark tries to get it out. Lex Ballard, good stick right there, steals away from almost 2 Eagles. All by him, lone self. Brings it up. Lex Ballard with the long strides, clears it out to Cadence Kelly, who gets hit against Dom Zerkis. Cleared back in. Lex Ballard's going to be man to touch up with about 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in this first period. A tie game. Cadence Kelly against 2 Eagles. Clears it to the right side. Try to get to Nico Umale, but just can't. Van Rayner, good stick right there, leads that Cadence Kelly steal. Kelly drop off to Nico Umale. Nico Umale shoots, hits the defender of the Eagles, and it trickles its way to Anderson as he's able to stop it immediately. 2 minutes exactly left in this first period, 1-1 ball game.
I like that shot from Nico Umale. You break into the zone. You can see kind of let the Eagles shoot themselves in the foot a little bit. They kind of had their own guys kind of out in front, almost screening Anderson a little bit. So he fires that shot on goal. You also got Cadence Kelly in there on that screen as well. So you're trying to get it to filter off those bodies, kind of trickle off them, and then maybe you fool Anderson. That's kind of how you're going to have to score in the ACHA. It's a lot of chaos goals.
Keegan Lucas sends it behind off the wing to Samuel Sohoven. Sohoven going to try and get out to Cole Carlson. Just can't get enough. A couple sticks got in the way of that pass. Number 3, Ethan Nickish, the brother of Jacob Nickish, who got a goal in this game, tries to clear it up. Lou Jurgensen saucers one all the way to Samuel Sohoven. Pretty good rolling puck. Sohoven going to bring it in. He's against 2 Eagles, fights one off. Sohoven out in front. Cole Carlson almost had a diving shot opportunity right there. Lucas Robinson at the point, sends it back all the way around. Cole Carlson now. Carlson battling against 2 Eagles. Cole Carlson loses puck possession. Going to try and clear it. Keep it in the zone is Lucas Robinson, though. Good job by the defenseman. Lucas Robinson has a very good slap shot on this team. Sohoven saucers one behind the net of Anderson. Luke Jurgensen be the man to touch. With 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this first period, Eagles finally get a steal. Lucas Robinson gets outbeat. Dawson Bunch has 2-on-1. Dawson Bunch gets a shot opportunity on Alexia Cool, and he's able to steer it away with about 60 seconds left remaining. All by himself his number, and they're going to call a penalty as the play stops immediately.
And they're going to nab Dawson Bunch for interference. So now the Cougs and the Eagles equal on the penalty side. So both the Cougs have a penalty and the Eagles have a penalty as well. But Dawson Bunch was in on that 2-on-1 break that the Eagles had a golden opportunity to get the lead, to break this tie game. It's 1-1 so far with about 1 minute left in the first period. And you have a 2-on-1 break. You have Eli Nickish, who you could have fed it up to, but instead he puts a weak wrist shot on goal that's really easily patted aside by Alexi Cool. It's one of those things where it's like, that's the shot you're going to take. You might want to get into the zone, get set up a little bit more. So both the Eagles and the Cougs getting not a lot of quality opportunities.
And stolen away, Sam Hembry just can't clear it back in. All by himself is Eli Nickish. Can he tie his brother? No! Stopped away from Alexia Cool on the fast break. Almost a shorthanded goal by the Eagles. With 40 seconds remaining left in this first period, unless the Cougars score, they'll go into the break with a power play. Van Rayner leads the team of power play goals, trying to get to Lex Ballard, a wraparound, and he scores! Great pass right there by Van Rayner all the way to the defenseman, the freshman defenseman, Lex Ballard, who brings a lot of personality to this team, and he gets a power play goal for the WSU Cougars to put them out in front so far at the end of this first period.
Catch him sleeping. Lex Ballard, his second goal as a Coug. Like you said, he's a freshman defenseman. Hasn't been necessarily a point scriber. He's been absolutely amazing in forcing turnovers and being able to shut down offensive opportunities. But right there, looking like a forward. Gets the puck, wraps it around, and now the power play for the Cougs finally showing some signs of life. It's been really flat for most of this year, but now the man advantage is really coming through for the Cougs.
Trying to clear back in, just can't do it in time is Sam Hembry, and again, another goal, but Jared Delenek all by himself. Wrist shot steered away by Alexia Cool once again. But the second Cougar goal is they might have a 2-on-1. It's David Bushkin and Matthew Taylor with 5 seconds remaining. Bushkin going in all by himself, trying to go back in. He is tripped. Are they going to call a shootout goal? We'll see what the call is right now.
Anderson got absolutely laid out. It was kind of just a domino effect. I mean, you got Bushkin who kind of fell, collided with Anderson. Then Matthew Taylor falls and collides with Anderson. I think maybe even Van Rayner kind of got in on the collision there. But it was just a train of Cougars who just came through and just pounded Anderson again and again and again. That's definitely a little brutal if you're Anderson there in the crease. You just keep getting hit. But you're right. David Bushkin was definitely tripped up on that opportunity. He was coming in. It was looking like he was going to get a last-minute goal to make it 3-1. But he gets definitely tripped up. So we saw it in yesterday's game where Cole Carlson had a breakaway opportunity, got tripped up. They gave him the penalty shot. So if you give David Bushkin a penalty shot opportunity here, I'm wondering if maybe he's going to go goal for goal with Cole Carlson and both have that shootout opportunity.
Well, the official call on the ice is it's going to be McGuire Tierney for tripping. It's not going to be the shootout goal that we expected for David Bushkin, is they didn't call it like that, and they just called the period right there. There's 0.2 left on the clock. So the WSU Cougars heading into the second period immediately will have a 2-minute power play, already up 1 goal on the Eastern Washington Eagles, and one of their goals came off a power play, which, like you said, is starting to come to life. But I do want to bring up Alexei Cool made 2 amazing saves that both resulted in goals. He doesn't get assists, it doesn't score on the stat sheet, but those 2 goals, the 2-on-1 to start the first goal, and then this one right now, which shouldn't have been a shorthanded break, but he makes the save on Nickish, and it comes down the other way, and Lex Ballard takes the lead for the WSU Cougars.
Whether it's the stats or whether it's even just the eye test, Alexei Cool is looking like the better goaltender, because he quite literally is the better goaltender than Riley Anderson on the stat sheet in this game as well. 18 shots for the Eagles, 11 shots for the Cougs. They've been more efficient with their chances. You got Lucas Clark, who's able to fire a shot, able to beat Anderson. Then you have Lex Ballard with a wraparound opportunity, able to catch the Eagles sleeping, which is absolutely insane. If you'd asked me if I thought Lex Ballard was going to get a goal in this game, I would not have thought that. But he comes in, he makes his presence known immediately. So again, we mentioned it in the open of this game. The Cougs have such incredible depth on their bench, mainly because of the young core that they have. They have a lot of freshmen on the team, and that's really shining tonight with Lex Ballard getting his 2nd goal as a Coug.
Well, the WSU Cougars will have a 2-minute power play to start this second period. I'm Connor Simmons, joining the booth with my partner in crime, Smith Slye. We'll see you guys with KUGR Hockey, second period, starting in about 16 minutes.
You are listening to a KUGR sports production.
Another rushing touchdown for what might be the best rushing quarterback in all of college football right now.
Your eyes and ears for every WSU sporting event.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Listen live to games on YouTube at KUGR Sports.
Underneath it, Johnstone makes the grab and wins the game. Washington State wins it 7-5.
Logan Johnstone makes the snag.
And now, here are your hosts.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
Efficiency in Eastern. The Cougs are getting outshot by the Eastern Washington Eagles 18-11. But with the few shots that the Cougs have had so far in this game, they have made them count. A goal from Lucas Clark, one of his first of the year, and then a goal by Lex Ballard, his second of the year, his first in quite a long time. And the Cougars are leading by a very, very thin margin in Cheney, Washington. Smith Slye joined by Connor Simmons in the broadcast booth along with Zach McFarland behind the camera. Connor, going into period number 2, the goaltending matchup in this game has been Riley Anderson for the Eagles and Alexi Kuhl for the Cougs. How does that goalie matchup maybe swing things in favor of the Cougs?
Well, I can give 2 off the bat opportunities that Alexi Kuhl has pretty much not even just saved the game, but gave the Cougars the lead, as the first goal of the game came off a 2-on-1 where Alexi Kuhl saves it last second. And then, of course, on the shorthanded, Jared Jelenic comes in all by himself, tries to make a move. Alexi Kuhl stuffs him immediately, and comes back all the way down. Van Rainer finds Lex Ballard, and he's able to wrap around a goal and give them the lead. Alexi Kuhl should technically have 2 assists right now, even though he's the goaltender. It has been an amazing game for Alexi Kuhl, and he's proven why he's the best goaltender in this division right now.
Absolutely, and even though the Cougs are leading this game 2-1, the Eastern Washington Eagles have kind of looked like the better team down on the ice. Joel Lusk has been absolutely amazing, being able to feed his teammates, including Jared Jelenic. Dom DeZerkis has done a great job as well, being able to try and feed guys out in front. They've kind of dominated possession time. They've really kept the Cougs hemmed in their zone at times. But like I said, efficiency in Eastern. The Cougs, when they've gotten opportunities to score, they've made them count. They've been able to just kind of catch the Eagles sleeping a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if it's more of the same for period number 2, or if maybe the Eagles have a talk in the locker room and maybe switch up the mentality a little bit, maybe come out with a little bit more aggression. One of the things we saw in that first period was there was not a lot of penalties, despite the Eastern Eagles leading the entire Pac-8 for penalty minutes. There were quite a few penalties in last night's matchup, but like you said, Connor, it felt like every 5 minutes there was an Eagle sitting in the sin bin. But tonight, it's only been 2 penalties for the Eastern Eagles, only 1 for the Cougs, as the Cougs have a man advantage coming into the second frame. Number 17, McGuire Tierney will take a seat in the penalty box to start out this period, so the Cougs will be up a man for this second frame of action.
Well, and going back, like we talked about, all those penalties, 3 penalties in this game, came in the last 8 minutes of the first period, and only 1/3, so maybe that opened up like a gateway for so many more penalties to come, as 3 penalties in 8 minutes is quite a bit. The first 12 minutes was just clean hockey. But again, going back to Alexi Kuhl, there was 18 shots on him in that first period. And Alexi Kuhl is having a great game. But you know how a goalie doesn't have a great game? When there's 60 shots on net on him. So we'll see how the second period goes. Let's see if the Cougs can go 2 for 2 on the power play and maybe make this a 3-1 game early on in the second period.
The second period of long changes. The Cougs with the man advantage. Van Rainer opposed by Nickish. Sit back and enjoy this one. Cole Carlson feeds it over to Robinson. Back over to Carlson, picked off by Nickish. Shot on goal, glove save, and covered by Alexi Kuhl. The Cougs get caught sleeping right off the draw, but Alexi Kuhl maintains being a brick wall.
Those are just some of the opportunities you can't let happen if you're WSU, and Alexi Kuhl saves them once again, but that's just simple mistakes, you know, cheap thrills. That was a cheap thrill for Eastern Washington, even without that goal, and they need to not make those mistakes anymore.
Nickish to the face-off circle again, won by the Eagles, pushed in deep by number 15, Zetterquist. So Hovinen has to go back to play for the Cougs. He's pestered by Eli Nickish, one of the Nickish brothers on the team, both sophomores, both from Billings, Montana. Cole Carlson on the gallop, red line, blue line, near side. What will Carlson do? Loses his handle, turns it over to Zetterquist, and cleared into the neutral zone. Cole Carlson just overskated his own handle. Robinson feeds it to the neutral zone, red line for Van Rainer. He'll bring it in. He's got Jurgensen and Carlson. Pass out in front, bouncing around, doesn't connect with it. Feeds out in front off the pads of Riley Anderson. They'll hack at it, backhand opportunity, and it's denied by the body of Luke Jurgensen. Some friendly fire to deny Cole Carlson of that goal. They'll scrum for it along the boards. Van Rayner tries to poke check it, comes up with it. Out in front on his backhand, has to try and feed it for Sahovinen, who gets it. Stops and starts in the far corner. Maintains his possession of it. Who will he pass it to? Backhand passes it to Van Rayner. Off the boards for Samuli Sahovinen, too far away from his stick. Carlson tries to play it around the referee. The ACHA refs just refuse to get out of the way sometimes. Lucas Robinson from the point. Glove save by Riley Anderson, who's looking solid so far in period number 2.
Well, there's 45 seconds left in this power play, and I think the power play would have been over like you brought up friendly fire. I think the Cole Carlson going back about 30 seconds, backhand shot might have went in if Luke Jurgensen's, I think, his stick or leg got in the way. Obviously, he didn't mean to, but it could be a 3-1 hockey game right now.
Sahovinen with Van Rayner to his right, Lex Ballard to his left, who has a goal so far in this game. The Cougs lead it 2-1. That's face-off is won by the Cougs. Ballard spins around on the far wing, passes to Sahovinen at the goal line. Pass out in front, denied by the body of McGowan. Ballard gets it in the corner, feeds it to Sahovinen. Out in front for Van Rayner. Shot on goal. He scores! Van Rayner, his 6th power play goal of the year, doing what he does best. The Cougs lead this game 3-1.
Well, Van Rayner with the 6th power play goal leads the team, and up there in the whole entire division on power play goals. Just another great opportunity going back and forth. It looks like they were running a play right there, and Van Rayner, the puck doesn't even leave the ice, just beats Anderson on the right side on his left toe, just a little bit too short right there, and it's a 3-1 hockey game. Cougs 2 for 2 on the power play.
12 goals for Van Rayner so far this year, 10 assists. His 6th power play goal so far this year. He's been very efficient when they've been up a man, as the Eagles win the draw at center ice. Sean Smith will push it in deep, but it's picked up by Keegan Lucas. Feeds it across for Hembry to Bushkin, who just kind of tips it into the zone. Will it be icing? Yes, it will. David Bushkin unable to touch it, much to his chagrin. He'll plead his case with the officials, but they're having none of it.
With 18 minutes and 18 seconds left in the second period, it's 3-1. WSU is up after that power play Van Rayner goal. And that has been the story of the season, is the Cougars just not being able to capitalize on special teams. And so far this weekend, they've done a pretty good job. Obviously, it's still early in this game and things can take a turn, but Cougars with a good start on special teams.
4th line out for the Cougs. Bushkin to the draw. He'll lose it. Onto the stick of Joel Lusk, who feeds it out in front. Some chaos hockey, but the Cougs come up with it. They survive. Alexi Kuhl is able to seal it off. As Bushkin went to play the puck, it was opposed by Tierney, chips it up into the nets, will blow the play dead. A face-off in the Cougar zone with 18 minutes left in the second frame, and the Cougars leading by 2.
Well, I can tell you right now, Keegan Lucas he doesn't have any points in the game just yet, but he's making his mark on the game. He has had multiple steals and saved maybe goals or shots in this game. Just a great start for him and Keegan Lucas.
Keegan Lucas, 2 goals and 3 assists coming into this matchup. The Eagles win the draw, will push it in deep, but it trickles onto the stick of Sam Hembry. Behind the net of Kuhl. On his backhand, he'll play it for Keegan Lucas, has to field it through his body. Lucas Clark, a goal scorer tonight, will push it through the neutral zone. Picked off by number 14 for the Eagles. They'll play it off the stick of Jelinek. Tips it in, no icing, and Keegan Lucas has to feed it around for Lucas Clark. They'll pin it against the boards in the near corner of the Cougar zone. Leaks onto the stick of Sam Hembry, who feeds it across for David Bushkin. He's denied entry at the blue line, and now the Eagles on the gallop. Here comes Dom Dezerka, shot on goal, well wide. Alexi Kuhl didn't even have to do anything.
Well, Dom Dezerka's shot, he seems to be the only one in this game outside maybe Jared Jelinek to get stuff going for the Eagles, and he does it right there with a good shot. Doesn't hit Alexi Kuhl's net or anything, but just getting those opportunities to start something, especially after giving up an early goal in the second.
New faces on the ice for the Cougs. The first line subs out. Number 13, Kendall for the Eagles on the gallop, brings it on, far side, trying to shake off Lex Ballard, his number counterpart. Loose out in front, cleaned up by the Cougs, and they'll blow this play dead after Carson Kendall collides with the backboards and is a little slow to get up.
Man, oh man, Carson Kendall took a shot right there. He slammed in the boards. I'm actually very surprised. Yes, he's a little slow getting up, but he popped up pretty fast for a hit that he just took, and oh, just a big hit right there. Lex Ballard slams Carson Kendall on the boards. So we'll see if the special team wins for the Cougs keeps going, as they're so far perfect on the PK and perfect on the power play. See what happens now.
Sean Smith opposed by Cole Carlson, stuck at their feet. Jelinek comes up with it. Feeds it now to Joel Lusk. Goal leader, shot on goal, body of Kuhl, and he turns it aside, able to get the save and just paddle it aside. And now the Eagles have to retreat and hit the reset button.
Lusk with a great opportunity right there, and he's someone you do not want to see if you're Alexi Cool, but he stops him right there, and the Eagles have to reset.
Tierney feeds it for Joel Lusk. Red line, blue line, near side. Lusk trying to set something up for the Eagles. They're down by 2. He's denied by Lucas Robinson and Micah Clark, but he regains his handle in the far corner. Has options. He'll feed it out for Jelnick. At the point, he's got Tierney with him, but he'll give it back to Joel Lusk, who just has to tip it behind the net of Alexi Cool. Picked up by number 14. He'll wheel it out to Jelnick at the point, far side. Feeds it for Tierney. He'll put a shot through bodies, well wide. Alexi Cool watches it sail past. Jelnick pirouettes, shakes off Luke Jurgensen, feeds it out for Tierney. He'll put a shot on goal through bodies, off the glove, and cleared aside by the Cougar defense. They're able to survive that opportunity. 16 minutes left in period number 2. Cougars leading by 2. Sean Smith to Tierney at the points. He'll pass it in deep for Joel Lusk, back out to Tierney. They play catch. He's being pestered by Cole Carlson, trying to shut off his lane. He'll feed it over for Jelnick, also at the blue line. He is unable to field it properly, but is somehow able to shake off Jurgensen on his stick. Poke checked away by Lucas Robinson. Jurgensen gets it on his stick, fires it down ice, and uses the penalty kill to his advantage.
Well, right there, a good switch shot by the Cougs and a great penalty kill so far. There's only 30 seconds left for the Eagles, but the Cougars staying calm, cool, and collected and staying in their zones and not overreaching or overdoing anything right there, and the Eagles just seem to struggle to keep passing around in the zone.
Tierney will feed it for Myers. Past the logo, red line, blue line, far side. He's shoved off it by Van Rainer, but it's cleaned up now by Dawson Bunch. Shot into the body of Alexi Cool, swallows it up, melts this down. 15 minutes left in period number 2, and the Cougars leading 3-1.
With 10 seconds left in the power play, honestly a very smart shot right there by Dawson Bunches, allows some subs to come back and some healthy bodies as it looks to go right back to 5-on-5 hockey regarding any goals by the Eagles, but just slow the game down and maybe get a retouch up.
Lex Ballard standing in the penalty box. He's ready to sub off the ice immediately. Zetterquist off the draw, puts a shot on goal that hits off the thigh of Samuli Sahovinen. That's got to sting. Sahovinen will pin it against the boards in the neutral zone, push it into the Eagles' half. Going back to play, McGowan. He'll park himself behind the net of Anderson, feeds it now for Waits. He'll skate it past the blue line, past the red line, near side in the Cougar zone. Who will he pass it to? He tries to pass it over to number 23, but can't connect with them. Coming up with it. It's leaking onto the stick of Keegan Lucas, who clears it through the neutral zone, and the Eagles push it in off sides. They'll have to tag up and resets. The Cougs, Sam Henry overskates his own handle, feeds it for Samulisa Hovinen, who backhand saucer feeds it deep, and Anderson has to play it, put his glove over the top of it, melt it down as the pressure was coming immediately from the Cougars. Smart play from Anderson to slow this game down with 14 minutes, 23 seconds left in the second frame.
We are back to 5-on-5 hockey, and I want to bring up some Eastern goals. They're trying to send it up in front, and almost every single goal this entire weekend has been a pass sent right in front of the net with Alexi Cool, and it seems like WSU has found out their game plan, and they're doing a good job avoiding it right now.
Matthew Taylor opposed by Sean Smith. Far face-off circle to the right of Anderson. Off the draw, it's won by the Eagles. They'll put a pass, but it hits off the skates of Eagle, and almost a scoring opportunity. David Bushkin fires a shot off the shin of number 14, Jeff Leonov. Lucas Clark for David Bushkin with an opportunity to score. Feeds it. Will they get it? No! It's sealed off by Anderson. Bushkin trying to feed Matthew Taylor, but gets denied by the glove of Riley Anderson.
Oh my goodness. I want to say it was the stick of Tierney that just didn't allow the shot by Matthew Taylor just to get enough power on it just to beat Anderson. What a great opportunity by David Bushkin right there, as he could have took the shot but was the better man and passed it. Would have been a great opportunity, but Matthew Taylor just can't get enough on it.
Fourth line for the Cougs, showing that this team has some serious depth on the bench. Matthew Taylor wins the faceoff. David Bushkin picks it up, backhand feeds it for Lucas Clark. Can't get it on his stick. They'll fight for it just in the slot, and Joe Lusk will win the battle and come up with it. Here comes Lusk past the red line, far side blue line. What will he do? He's pestered hard by Lucas Robinson. Backhand shot denied. Alexi Cool, a pad save as it's cleared up and into the netting. We'll have a faceoff in the Cougar zone. There is no delay of game penalty in the ACHA, so nobody for the Cougars will be heading to the sin bin.
Man, what a change of events. It's right in front of Anderson's net. There's a scrum, maybe about 3 Cougars, 3 Eagles hit the ice, then pushing it back. It's 2-on-2 hockey, and almost leads to an Eastern goal, but Alexi Cool stops it once again.
Clark from the blue line, a shot that was hit off defensive bodies, never even made to the net. Here's a feed to Bushkin. Here he comes with a head of steam. As it denied by number 21, and Dom Dezerk is there to try and play it. Coming up with the puck. It's David Bushkin, pushes out in front to a man, but no one was there. It was picked up by the Eagles as David Bushkin got laid out behind the net of Anderson. No call. Ref don't see it, ref don't call it. Lex Ballard overskates his handle, has it taken away by Nickish, but he regains it. They'll pin it against the boards behind Alexi Cool. Lex Ballard will chase down this puck on his backhand. What will he set up for the Cougs? Past the logo, tries to feed for David Bushkin, who was going out for a change and didn't have his head up. In the Eagles zone, it trickles past the blue line. The Cougs have to push it on off sides and get a chance to get a breather.
Just a little miscommunication between David Bushkin and Lex Ballard right there, as they thought there was going to be a push happening.
Dom DeZerkis breaks into the zone, pirouettes, feeds it for Kendall, but it's broken up by the stick of Cole Carlson. Good defense to shut down that opportunity and take away the lane. 12 minutes, 49 seconds left in the second frame. Cougars leading by 2. Pass to Jurgensen in the neutral zone. First line out for the Cougs, some fresh bodies. He's able to try and shake off Russell. Backhands it for Sahovinen. Feeds out to the blue line for Michael Clark's shot. Through by, he's trying to get a tip from Jurgensen, but it's into the pads of Anderson, and this play will be blown dead.
Well, the Cougars are just playing very smart hockey right now. Not really overskating, not doing anything too far out of WSU hockey kind of lanes and stuff like that. But something I think we should bring up is WSU's up 3-1, and they're still down 7 shots. So it's 24-17, Eastern leading. So it makes you think about some of the opportunities the Eagles are putting on the net, or some of the opportunities that WSU is putting on the net. With 12 minutes and 33 seconds left in the second period, let's see if any more opportunities or any more shots will get put on this board.
Cougars are going to have the man advantage in the Eagle zone. Keegan Clark gets nabbed for tripping, so he winds up on the naughty list. Will be sitting down in the sin bin. Cougs on the near face-off side, off to the left of Riley Anderson. The power play unit out for the Cougs. Van Rayner, who has a power play goal so far tonight, along with Samuli Sahovinen and Lex Ballard, who also has a goal tonight. Not a power play goal, but nonetheless. Cougs win the face-off. Carlson has to push it in deep. Sahovinen back to play behind the net of Anderson. He's pestered by McGowan. Both of them kind of get shoved down to the ice. Van Rayner backhands it for Sahovinen. Goal line, far side, kicks it out for Hembry at the point. What will he do? Gives it back to Sahovinen, who's pestered hard by Jelnik. Lex Ballard feeds it for Van Rayner, who loses his handle. It's cleared down ice by the Eagles. They survive.
Well, so far the Cougs are 5 for 5 and undefeated on the special teams today, whether it's a penalty kill or power plays. So let's see if they can keep on doing it.
Off the boards, trying to connect with Samui Zahovinen. He was tied up by Sterling Myers. The puck leaks onto the glove of Riley Anderson, who covers it. And McGowan took a swipe at Cole Carlson with the stick. The refs will talk to him here, and I wonder if there's going to be another power play for the Cougs.
Well, it's not looking like they're going to call anything. It should be 5-on-3, as that seemed pretty obvious and blatant, not a hockey play whatsoever. But the Cougs at least get a little reset with 1:22 left on the power play, and hopefully win this face-off and get something set up once again.
Cougars wearing their gray jerseys with the red stripes. The Eastern Washington Eagles wearing their white jerseys with the red sleeves. Two really great uniform combos from both these programs. Off the face-off, it's won by the Eagles into their own corner. Tierney off the boards, but sealed off by Lex Ballard, who has to kind of pin it against the boards, fighting with Kendall. Ballard comes up with it. Jurgensen out in front. Shot on goal. He scores! Jurgensen, an absolute bullet. His second goal of the year. 4-1. The Cougs leading by 3.
Luke Jurgensen, known as the aggressor on this team, has so much chemistry with this first line. As Coach Lupinacci's brought him multiple times, that's why he is on the first line. He's able to get an amazing opportunity, great wrist shot. It was so fast, so clean. It is a 4-1 hockey game. Cougars, everything going the right way right now, and they are now 5 for 5 on special teams, 3 for 3 on the power play. You haven't seen a game like this in a while, Smitty, from the Cougars on the special teams right now.
The internet connection for Riley Anderson must have been slow, because he was a solid second late to reacting to that shot from Lucas Jurgensen, as a shot from Lucas Clark goes off the glove of Riley Anderson, dives on top of his own rebound, melts it down, and forces the face-off in his own half.
Well, that's 2 goals in 9 minutes so far in this second period. It's not even halfway done with the second. The Cougars just are dominating right now. I wonder if Eastern's getting in their own head right now as they're becoming a little bit more aggressive.
Fourth line out for the Cougs. Ethan Maurer has to chase this puck back into his own half. Feeds it for Lucas Robinson. Gives it to Lucas Clark, who chips it in. Here's an opportunity. Matthew Taylor just too far, and Matthew Taylor unable to chase down that puck. Riley Anderson covers it, and yet again, another face-off in the Eagles' quadrant.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if Matthew Taylor was a little bit faster, if that puck was moving just a little bit slower, that could have been ESPN top 10 play of the night right there. That would have been a filthy pass to what could have been a filthy goal by Matthew Taylor.
Matthew Taylor with David Bushkin to his left, Lucas Clark to his right, Lucas Robinson on defense, and Ethan Maurer on defense as well. Off the draw, won by the Eagles. Play out to the blue line, a shot from Lucas Robinson that hit off the shins of Joe Lusk, and cleared away. David Bushkin tried to feed it out in front, but just can't get it to his man. Picked up by the Eagles. They'll feed it now for Sean Smith, who gets it for Joe Lusk. He'll wheel out to the center of the ice, but it's picked off by the Cougs, somehow kept in by Joe Lusk. Picked off by Ethan Maurer. He'll backhand it. No, he loses his handle, overskated it. Here comes Sean Smith with an opportunity. Who's out in front? Backhand. No, denied. The pad says no. Alexi, cool. What a save.
Alexi Cool going bigger, going home as he sprawls out for that one. What a great move by Sean Smith to get Ethan Maurer off of his skates right there, and just a great, great save as Alexi Cool dives out, saves it. Try to go 5-hole, but Alexi Cool just full-on dives and saves it and keeps it a 4-1 hockey game with 10 minutes and 48 seconds left in the second period.
Rayner opposed by Kendall at the face-off circle. Second line for the Cougs out on the ice. Van Rayner, Nico Umale, Cadence Kelly as well. As Lexi Cool will sort things out here with the referee. Looks like he was placing his water ball on top of the nets. And off the draw, it's won by the Eagles. Dom Dzerkis on his backhand. Shakes off two men. He's got some of the best handles in the league. Puts a shot on goal. The defensive bodies deny. Leaks past the blue line. The Eagles push it in offsides, and will have to take a second to catch the breath. Keegan Lucas behind the net of Cool was trying to connect with Nico Umale. Doesn't work. Goes down ice for icing. It'll be drugged back into the Cougars' half with 10 minutes and 25 seconds left in period number 2. The Cougars leading by 3, 4-1.
Well, so far for the Eagles, we brought it up multiple times. It's really top line heavy, and if you're one of the coaches for the Eagles, you want to see some of these third, fourth liners start at least making some impacting. Doesn't have to be goals, assists, or points, but at least get some shots on net, be aggressive.
Nickish off the draw, has it poke checked away by Nico Umale. Good defense to kind of deny the goal scorer for the Eagles. On the second, Keegan Lucas flips it up into the nets. Do not know exactly what he was trying to do there, as Keegan Lucas looked a little disappointed with himself on that play. Like I mentioned before, there is no delay of game penalty in the ACHA, so you can do that all night long.
I feel like it should be.
Off the draw, won by the Cougs. Keegan Lucas with a shot at redemption is able to bring it through the neutral zone. Clark will feed it across for Jordan Russell, who pushes it through, trying to connect with Dzerkis, but goes wide of his stick. Sam Henry for the Cougs will clean it up behind the net of Cool. Feeds it for Cadence Kelly, who tries to chip it out, and he will. Bouncing puck goes into the neutral zone. Eagles are forced to touch up, but it's turned over to Cadence Kelly. Tried to feed Van Rayner, but it's picked off by Carson Kendall, who's pestered now by Rayner. Here's a turnover. Cole Carlson, shot on goal, denied by the pad. Another shot, scores! Nico Umale cleans up the trash. 5-1, the Cougars dominating in period number 2.
Well, Nico Umale cleaning up off a really great opportunity off the rebound and practically had an empty net. And a lot of goal scorers so far in this game aren't the usual suspect for goal scorers. The only guy I can kind of think of right now is Van Rayner. Everyone else has, I want to say, 3 or less goals. It has been an amazing game. Everybody seems to be scoring for the Cougars right now, and just a very tiresome and a game you don't want to be in right now for the Eastern Washington, as I believe they just called it a timeout with 9:43 left in the second period. WSU is up 5-1. Utter dominance by the Cougars so far this weekend.
Nico Umale, the kid from Missoula, Montana, gets his second goal of the season. He got his first goal against the University of Idaho back in Moscow, and then ever since then, it's been kind of quiet. He's been playing almost every single game for the Cougs, but he's been on the doorstep. He's had opportunities. He just hasn't quite always been able to connect, but he gets a great bounce right onto his stick right there and just absolutely buries it. And Riley Anderson has been absolutely terrorized by the Cougs all game so far tonight. 5-1, the Cougs lead this game by a margin of 4 goals with 9 minutes and 43 seconds left. We'll step aside after this timeout called by the Eastern Eagles. You're listening to Cougar Hockey, the sole broadcaster on KUGR Sports. I'm Smith Slye, joined by Connor Simmons. We'll be right back. Three unanswered goals so far for the Cougs in period number 2. Van Rayner got it going, followed up by Luke Jurgensen, and just then it was Nico Umale who makes it a 5-1 hockey game. Eli Nickish opposed by Evan King at the faceoff circle. And the Eagles will win the draw. Dawson Bunch will break it into the zone, but he has to turn it over to Lex Ballard. Had no other option. Ballard spins and shakes off Nickish. Feeds it for Jurgensen. Pardon me, that's Wyatt Perry who has to scrum for it and fight for it in the neutral zone. Evan King trying to come up with this puck. Will he? Yes, he will. No. Turns it right over to the Eagles. And now a little bit of chaos hockey in the neutral zone. Fed to Eli Nickish as somebody, Sterling Myers, along with Wyatt Perry, were tied up in the Eagles' half. No call by the officials. Lex Ballard past the logo to Hank Hamlet, a freshman on this team, gets it on his backhand. What will he do? Behind the net, backhand feeds it out in front. No one was there. Picked up by Eli Nickish, who tries to put on a move. Sealed off at the blue line by Lex Ballard, but it's chipped through the neutral zone down to the Cougars' half, and Hank Hamlet has to go and play it. Bouncing around, the Eagles play it on offsides onto the net of Alexi Cool, who drops it off for Michael Clark. He'll park himself behind the net and set up a breakout. Feeds it for Wyatt Perry. Fighting for it at the blue line, has to just backhand it into the Eagles zone. The Cougs go off for a change. It's the second period, the period of long changes. Getting fresh bodies on the ice is at a premium. Played through to the Cougars zone. Jelnick was able to just kind of tip it in to avoid the icing. Michael Clark plays off the boards and out. Zetterquist unable to seal off the zone. Will this be icing? No, it will be not. Did not trickle far enough and in time. Wyatt Perry shoves number 17 into the boards. They'll fight for it, sealed off at the blue line by Lucas Robinson. Fires a shot through bodies, tipped on nets, but just wide. Anderson didn't know where it was, but lucks out. Robinson gives it back to Carlson on the wing, leaks onto the stick of Samu Zahovinen. Feed for Carlson out in front, shot on goal, denied by the pads. Zahovinen with an opportunity, backhands it out in front, is denied by defensive six. As Samu Zahovinen tripped up and shoved to the ground. A delayed penalty now for the Cougs. Played off the back of the net by Luke Jurgensen. The Eagles touch up, and now the Cougs have yet another man advantage.
Well, they're looking to go 4 for 4 and about 3 for 3 in the second period. And going back to some of those plays, some of those shots they got on net, that Cole Carlson shot where he's right there in the center ice was the game-winning goal from last night where it got them that 4-3 lead. So I wonder if the Cougs are starting to run a little bit more plays because they seem a little more set, a little bit more confident where they're passing and know where they're going instead of that miscommunication like usually. So this could be a bright spot for the Cougars right now.
Tierney heads to the penalty box for the Eagles. He's been watching much of this game from behind the glass. Carlson feeds it over for Robinson, tried to pass it to nobody in particular. No one was playing on the wing. Ballard in the near corner, trying to shake off Sterling Myers, who's shouldering him into the boards. Pass out to Cole Carlson, who can't quite get it on his stick. Picked off by Eli Nickish. Can he clear it out? Yes, he can. No, sealed off by Lucas Robinson, able to just kind of beat the puck there. Robinson, far side, feeds it now for Samu Zahovinen, who has to kind of hack at it. Somehow comes up with it. He's got Cole Carlson with him. Zahovinen pirouettes, backhands it off the skate of Sterling Myers, gets onto the stick of Cole Carlson. Near corner, pass off the boards behind the net to Samu Zahovinen, out to Robinson at the point. Back to Zahovinen on the wing. Moves into the goal line, pass down front for Cole Carlson, looking for a 1-T, but just can't field it. And now Lex Ballard has to chase it back to the neutral zone, hit the reset button for the Cougs.
Well, it just looks like Cole Carlson wasn't expecting how good of a pass that really was.
Carlson, drop pass for Van Rayner. He'll wheel it out to the blue line, but it's stolen. Taken away. Here comes Jelnick. Head of steam. He's quick. He's got to move. Shut down. Denied. Absolutely turned aside by Lex Ballard. What a defensive play. Jelnick gets the lucky rebound, but he's sealed off by Lex Ballard and Sam Hembry. Jurgensen has to chase him out of the zone, and the Eagles unable to capitalize on two great scoring opportunities.
Well, Lex Ballard already has a goal in this game. Now he's doing his mark on the defensive. What a stick by him.
Wait, a shot from the blue line that trickles off bodies, loose out in front. Alexi Cool able to just get the glove over the top of it, just able to melt it down. 6 minutes and 22 seconds left in period number 2, and the Cougs still leading 5-1.
27 seconds left on this power play, and they haven't scored yet, as it's a minute 30's already gone. Not because of the opportunities. There was 2 to 3 great shots and good opportunities where Anderson either stopped or just the situation go back to Cole Carlson, had it on his stick, could have one-timed it, just wasn't maybe expecting it.
Second half of the second period, the Cougs leading 5-1. Keegan Lucas off the draw, backhands it for Cole Carlson, feeds it for Van Rayner. 19 seconds left in the man advantage, denied at the blue line. The Eagles just say no to the Cougs. They're forced to have to touch up and reassess. Hembry feeds it over for Keegan Lucas, can't get it on his stick. Leaks onto the stick of number 14, who plays it through the zone, and the Cougars yet again chased out of their offensive half.
Well, that is going to be it for the power play, and that is the first hiccup of the game on the special teams for the Cougars. What a start they had.
Breakout pass for Sam Hembry. Here he comes. Shot on goal, blocking it away. The rebound cleaned up by Lucas Jurgensen. No, he can't get it. And the glove of Riley Anderson goes over top of the puck. And now we'll have a face-off in the Eagles zone. Some pushing, some shoving. Luke Jurgensen definitely chirping a bit to the Eastern Eagles.
Luke Jurgensen was looking for number 2, and number 2 off of a rebound. A great opening outlet pass to Sam Hembry, who gets a great shot. Almost needs another Luke Jurgensen rebound goal.
Cougs lead this game 5-1. You got about 6 minutes left in frame number 2. 5 minutes, 44 seconds left. The fourth line out for the Cougs. Matthew Taylor to the draw with Bushkin to his left. Won by the Eagles. They'll try and play it out of the zone. And they will. Sean Smith plays it off the boards for Joel Lusk, who's kind of pestered and shoved by Ethan Maurer. Wraparound pass for Sean Smith. Goes onto the net of Alexi Cool. He covers it. And there's a little bit of poking, a little bit of shoving by Sean Smith on Alexi Cool. And you can tell that Alexi Cool did not take kindly to it.
Lucas Robinson and Matthew Taylor both did not like it. And he's headed into the penalty box for that. I believe the refs are a little fed up with them and just they're done with it right now. It's been happening all game. They're like, you brought it up, ref don't see it, ref don't call it. Well, ref finally saw it this time, and the Cougs, after getting stopped on the first power play of the game, or one of the first stops by the Eagles on a Cougar power play, they're heading right back onto it.
Sean Smith very flagrantly clipped Alexi Cool when he was coming through the crease after Alexi had already covered it. So he heads to the penalty box. He was absolutely furious about that. Definitely some other unresolved business kind of boiling over into that penalty right there. But yet another man advantage for the Cougs. Well, let's see if they can capitalize. They've been very efficient on the power play so far this year. Like you said, Connor, the very first hiccup they had was that last man advantage. So the Eagles were able to kill it off. But now they find their heads underwater yet again. Off the draw in their own zone, won by the Cougs. Lex Ballard fights for in the corner, but it's cleared out by the Eastern Eagles. They've been absolutely amazing at clearing the puck so far on these man advantages for the Cougs.
Something to look for is because the power play was just out there, let's see if the first liners are the usual suspects for the first unit of the power play is a little bit tired.
Cougs try and break into the zone, but they're denied at the blue line again by the Eagles. The Eagles have been absolutely amazing at shutting them off from zone entry. Sahovinen at his own blue line, takes it past the red line, far side, breaks it in. He's got Rayner with him, and Carlson drops it for Carlson. Shot on goal, off a body, into the nets. Carlson gets denied by a defensive stick.
With 4 minutes and 57 seconds left in the second period, the Cougs exploded so far for 3 goals. It's 5-1, and there's a minute and 24 seconds left on the Sean Smith penalty.
The Eastern Eagles definitely tired down on the ice. They've been having to kill penalty after penalty so far in this second period. Back to their old ways, leading the Pac-8 for penalty minutes. Off the draw, Ballard gives it to Carlson at the point. Back to Lex Ballard on the wing. Wheels out to the middle of the ice, but he overskated his handle. He didn't even realize he lost it. And now the Eagles force the Cougs back into their own half. Cole Carlson had to chase it down. Gets it for Robinson. Has to try and shake off Waits. He pushes it in deeper for Lex Ballard. The forecheck for the Eagles, absolutely amazing on the penalty kill. Lucas Robinson. Saucer feeds it for Sumuli Sahovinen. The Cougs really pinned down in their own half despite the man advantage. Ballard shakes off Waits at the logo, breaks into the zone, up Broadway. Can he maintain his handle this time? He'll backhand feed it for Sam Hembry, who pushes in. Puts a shot on goal that sails wide into the netting, out of the ice rink. And now the Cougs still lead this game 5-1, pardon me, with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in period number 2.
40 seconds left on the power play, but I can tell you something, Lex Ballard's going to be kicking himself later tonight for that one. Is right idea, just couldn't put it all together right there. That's something they'll probably laugh at, and so will the team when they're back watching film. Just a great opportunity for Lex Ballard, though.
Sahovinen will head to the face-off circle. Immediately off the draw, they fire a shot on goal that went wide. Riley Anderson didn't know where that puck was. Sahovinen in the near wing, feeds it out to the point for Sam Hembry. He's pestered by Eli Nikish, tries to just slap it away. But Sam Hembry maintains possession of it, feeds it out in front for Cole Carlson. Backhand feeds it. Can they clean it up? Yes, they can. Luke Jurgensen, goal number 2 tonight. It's absolutely magical down on the ice. 6-1. The Cougars absolutely dominating.
The Cougars are 4 for 5 on the power play tonight, hitting it at 80% clip, which is just amazing. And it all starts because of the unselfishness. Cole Carlson gets it on his stick, finds the open man, and Luke Jurgensen practically has an empty net and gets his second of the game. With all these guys scoring, every Cougar's getting a present under the Christmas tree tonight. My, oh my, 6-1 in the second period.
The Cougars refusing to take their foot off the gas in period number 2. 4 goals so far in the second frame, and they just refuse to let off the pressure. They push it in deep, going to play it. Leonoff brings it on the boards, but it's cleaned up there by David Bushkin for Matthew Taylor behind the net of Riley Anderson. Tries the backhand feed out in front, doesn't work. A shot on goal from Lucas Clark, sealed off. Riley Anderson uses the logo on his chest to deny him.
Well, you can just feel the aura, feel the confidence just bouncing off the Cougs right now. Everyone's getting shots up right now. Usually you like to see the top guys get some shots, but it's everybody 1 through 4 in every single line is getting great opportunities, and this Cougars team is just thriving right now.
Every single member of the Cougar bench is standing on their bench. You look over at the eastern half of the bench, every single one of them is sitting. They're deflated. They have no energy in the second frame of action. Cougs keeping it pinned down in the zone. Hank Hamlet tried to play, but it's taken away by Joel Lusk. He'll shake off 2 guys, one of them being Evan King. At the logo, here comes Lusk up Broadway. What will he do? Tries to shake off a man, but leaves it for Jelnick. He scores! Lusk to Jelnick. Top bins, barring down. Alexi Cool can't do anything but watch.
Well, that is fast-paced hockey right there. 2 of the best players on Eastern Washington, just showing why they're some of the best players even just in the division itself. It is 6-2, and it's still far away from the end of this game, but that may have just got the crowd back involved, and this crowd here in Eastern always has it packed out.
Jared Jelenic, not the tallest man on the ice. He's small but mighty, 5'7", 165 pounds. The kid from Lewiston, Idaho, gets his 10th goal of the season, and his connection with Joel Lusk so far this year has been absolutely electric. Played off the board to the neutral zone. Here comes Cole Carlson, feeds it over for Nico Umale, 2 wide of his stick, and it's gonna be cleaned up by Clark. Feeds it for Jacob Nickish, one of the Nickish brothers. Played off the body to Nico Umale for the Cougs. In the corner, couldn't get his stick to it. Kendall will play it around the boards. Now Sam Henry seals out the blue line, able to just keep it from moving into the neutral zone. Nico Umale in the corner of the Eagles' half. Pushes in behind the nets of Anderson, but no one was there. Gaines Kelly was there to kind of pester him and shove him into the board. So was Umale. Sealed off at the blue line by Keegan Lucas. Fires a shot on net. Rebound collected by Riley Anderson. He'll force another face-off in the Eagles quadrant with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in period number 2. The Cougs leading 6-2.
Well, with that second goal by Eastern Washington, it makes you think, how's the rest of this period going to play out? Is it going to be more aggressive? Is Eastern going to start pushing back a little bit more? Is WSU going to keep on thriving? We'll have to see in these next 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
A packed barn tonight at the Eastern Washington University Rec Center. A lot of Eagles fans, a lot of Coug fans. They travel well. Off the draw, the Cougs win it. Loose puck is cleaned up by Dawson Bunch. Here come the Eagles, has to play it through his skate. Backhands it to no one in particular. Cleaned up by Luke Jurgensen, and Dawson Bunch laid out in the open ice. Pushed in deep, going back to play it. McGowan plays it for Sterling Myers, but it's cleaned up by Michael Clark. Fires a shot on goal, looking for a tip. Doesn't get it. Out in front, can they clean it up? Sahovinen tries to play this bouncing puck, backhands it for Jurgensen. He's got Cole Carlson in the bumper slot. Tries to hit a shot on goal, but just can't field it through his own skates. McGowan parking himself behind the net of Anderson. They'll try and set up a breakout. Here come the Eagles, but a bouncing puck onto the stick of Lex Ballard, pushes it in again. The Cougs doing a really great job of suffocating the Eagles. Carlson playing it in the near wing. Jurgensen kicks it out from Michael Clark. Blue line shot on goal, tipped off bodies, never even made it to the net, not even close. Breakout opportunity for Sterling Myers, goes all the way down onto the net of Alexi Cool, paddles it onto the glove, covers it, melts it down. A minute, 27 seconds left in the period number 2. Cougars leading 6-2.
Just a missed opportunity right there. Sterling Myers tried to saucer it. He was just too strong on it. It could have been a break, one-on-one versus Alexia Cool. It could have potentially been a 6-3 game, but the pass is too far and leads to just nothing happening.
Fourth line out for the Cougs. David Bushkin loses the draw. Tierney puts a shot on goal through bodies, never made it to the nets. Lucas Robinson able to saucer feed it for Matthew Taylor, who's able to break it into the zone. Here comes Matthew Taylor, drops it off for Lucas Clark. Shot on goal off a shin and never made it. Another shot through bodies, doesn't make it as well. Jelnick cleans it up. He's got Joel Lusk, feeds it to him. All of his backhand breaks into the zone. Near side, what will he do? Push down front, power move, can't get it to go. Lucas Robinson was there to clean it up and also cleaned up the rebound opportunity out in front. A minute left to play in period number 2. The Cougs leading 6-2. Lusk from a knee leaves it for Jelnick. He'll pass it out for Tierney. Shot through bodies, trickles off him and wide. Robinson, stickless in the rec center. A shot from Sean Smith into the shoulder of Alexi Cool, who swallows it and forces a face-off.
42 seconds left in the second period at 6-2. I know it seems like quite a bit, Smith, but there is a little bit more pushback coming from the Eagles right now. It is a large deficit, but anything is possible, especially in Division II hockey between both of these teams who seem to struggle with holding on to leads.
After Jurgensen's second goal, like I had said, the Eagles bench was completely deflated, but that Jelinek goal has seemed to revive them just a little bit. Cadence Kelly able to play that puck and push it in deeper. Riley Anderson has to go back to play it. Almost lost his handle, but drops it off for Jacob Nikish, who backhands it into the netting and out of play. And like I said, no delay game penalty in the ACHA. You can do it all day, every day.
Honestly, if I'm a coach, I might be telling my players to like practice that, or just out of sticky situations, just, hey, just clear it somewhere, clear it in the nets, because it's not a penalty. So that's something you're probably going to see a lot of come towards the end of the season, even playoff time, when a lot of these teams are in some situations they need to get out of immediately.
Carson Kendall gets kicked out of the face-off circle, will be replaced by Dom Dezerkis. He loses the draw. Nico Umale pushes it in deeper, has to kick it to his own stick, but it winds up on the backhand of Cadence Kelly, who will fire it into the far corner, near corner, pardon me. Van Rayner goes to play it, fields it around, left boards for Lex Ballard, who steals it off the blue line, pushes it in for Cadence Kelly, who has to kind of just soccer kick it deeper. Eastern Eagles, here comes Jacob Nikish, one of the Nikish brothers. Wheels out to the far side. He's pestered by Lex Ballard. Feed out in front, picked off by Keegan Lucas as the last second ticks off the clock. The Cougs lead this game 6-2, and they'll head to the locker room after absolutely dominating the Eagles through the second half of this game.
Just utter dominance in that second period, and I've said it multiple times. We've said it multiple times throughout this game. The special teams by the Cougs has just been excellent this whole entire game, and it's been pretty poor throughout the whole season. So to have a game like this is huge for confidence, whether it's the power play, whether it's the penalty kill, just an overall great period. 6-2. Game isn't over yet, especially with a team with Eastern, where they have super talented players on these top lines. You can't just think you got the win in the bag just yet. So it should be an exciting third period, but a great period by the WSU Cougars.
Van Rayner kicked it off with a power play goal, followed up by Lucas Jurgensen, then Nico Umale, and capping it off was Luke Jurgensen as well. But nonetheless, the Eagles were also able to get a response goal by Jared Jelinek to be able to head to the locker room, not down 6-1, but only down 6-2. But they'll head to the locker room. The Cougs up by 4. A very, very exciting game for Coug fans. But all the Eagle fans here in the Eastern Washington Rec Center definitely a little bit deflated. Smith Slye, joined by Connor Simmons in the broadcast booth, along with Zach McFarland behind the camera. You're listening to Cougar Hockey only on KUGR. We'll be right back. Don't you dare go away.
A 6-2 hockey game going every which way for the WSU Cougars, especially the special teams. Something to keep in mind, though, is that Eastern Washington did score the most recent goal, and it's only a 4-goal game, and anything can happen in third period because it is the witching hour where wins become losses and loss becomes wins. And here in Eastern Washington, a packed-out crowd, I'm Connor Simmons, joined in the booth with my partner in crime, Smith Slye. Smith, what have we seen so far from the first 2 periods of this hockey game?
What we've seen, Connor, is the battle of 2 goaltenders. One who is one of the best goaltenders in the entire Pac-8, Alexi Cool, the sophomore from Vancouver, Washington. He's got the 4th best save percentage in the entire Pac-8 at a .908. He's averaging only about 3.85 goals against on average. He's made 533 shots coming into this game. 533 saves off of 604 shots coming into this game, which is the first in the entire Pac-8. He blows everybody else out of the water in terms of shots faced and saves made. And he's also played 15 games, this being his 16th, which ranks him about 2nd in the pack, and he has been an absolute dog. And then, of course, look over at Riley Anderson, has just had no answer for the Cougar offense all game tonight. 5'11", 190 pounds. He was coming into this game with an .869 save percentage. He'd only played 6 games, and he was averaging about 4.84. And right now, the Cougs have blown that average out of the water. They got 6 goals so far in this game, and Coach Fibonacci says it a lot. You need 5 goals to win in the ACHA. They got 6 so far in this matchup. That's what my aunt likes to call change for a nickel. And if you're leading by 4 heading into the third period, it's looking pretty good for the Cougs. Like you said, in the ACHA, crazier things have happened. So I would not be surprised if, like you said, the witching hour, wins become losses and losses become wins. But in order for the Eagles to do that, they got a really steep mountain to climb.
Well, going back to what you talked about, Riley Anderson, I think his stats are a little bit skewed because 4 of the 6 goals have been on the power play. And usually the Cougs don't hit at this 80% rate they're hitting right now, but you have to have a little bit of help. You're down already a man, and Riley Anderson needs that extra defender. He hasn't put up the best stats all season, so just having 5-on-5 hockey helps out so much. And without those 4 goals, it is a 2-2 hockey game. So keep that in mind. We cannot count out a comeback, but we also have to give props where props are due because the WSU Cougars have shown up and shown out so far in tonight's game, as they already won game 1 after an amazing comeback in that third period where they scored 4 goals. If the Eastern Washington scored 4 goals in this third period, we have a tied hockey game. So
absolutely.
It is about to get underway as this third period drop as this first line, Luke Jurgensen, has 2 goals. A lot of unusual suspects on the goal sheet right now for the WSU Cougars, and that just speaks to the depth of this team. And then going to the other side, Eastern Washington, very top heavy. Third period about to get underway of WSU KUGR hockey. Face off, both tied up as Smith Luke Jurgensen brings into the zone, looking for maybe the Hattie. Luke just shoots and scores! He gets it done!
Connor, Connor, I think you just saw the future, my man. Off the draw, you mentioned the hat trick, and you reverse jinxed him.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Luke Jurgensen with a hat trick. He only had 1 goal coming into this game, and now he's got 4 so far on the season. Just have a night.
Luke Jurgensen with the 2nd hat trick for WSU this weekend. His night 1 was David Bushkin, and now it is Luke Jurgensen. 2 amazing games for the WSU Cougars. David Bushkin should be happy, and of course, Luke Jurgensen, who has 4 times his goals in this game, and it's 7-2 as he scored 8 seconds in this third period. My, oh my, it's a 7-2 hockey game. 19 minutes, 33 seconds left in this third period. WSU is up by 5 once again.
Like you said, Connor, it's been the unusual suspects getting goals on the board for the Cougs so far tonight. At the beginning of this day, if you told me that Luke Jurgensen was going to have a hat trick, I would have thought you were absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. Face-off won by the Eagles. Tried to do a wraparound, not looking like Lex Ballard there, though. Keeping it in the zone is number 9, Sean Smith. Tries to clear it all the way, but Sam Hembry cuts it off and picks it off. Cleared out Smusahoven and clears it up to Cole Carlson. Cole Carlson has a couple assists in this game. He shoots it high, almost a goal there. Luke Jurgensen behind the net, back to Cole Carlson. Jurgensen sends it out back in front, and it's tipped away and cleared all the way down for what should be an icing. And it is.
Every single shot on goal that Riley Anderson has to face, if you're a Cougar fan, has got to get your blood going a little bit. And if you're an Eagle fan, get your blood going for the wrong reason. Every single time a shot kind of goes his way, he looks uncomfortable. Doesn't necessarily looks like he knows where the puck is. Like we said, he's a much worse goaltender than Alexi Cool. I don't mean to throw shade, But I mean, when you really look, the eye test is not really panning out for Riley Anderson.
Nico Umale gets it stolen away by Sean Smith. A bad bank pass leads to Ethan Maurer recovering it. He clears it up to Nico Umale, who gets it tipped away. Nico in Cougar zone, tries to clear it just off his stick the wrong way. Nico gives it up to Van Rayner, captain of this team. He has a goal and a couple assists. And this clears it into the zone. Cleaned up by the Eagles all the way to Jared Jelinek, who has the last goal for the Eagles. Gets shoved against the boards by Ethan Maurer. Van Rayner tries to bring it in by himself. Kelly gets it up. We have a 2-on-1. Nico shoots it, and he scores! 5-hole Nico Umale!
What is going on, Connor? Jurgensen and now Umale, two guys who I would never have ever guessed would have a multi-goal game. Jurgensen has a hat trick. Now Nico Umale is on the hat trick watch. It's absolutely insane. The top half of the Cougars not necessarily doing that much, but it's been the kind of second line guys getting it done.
And something I think we should bring up is that Anderson hasn't been the goaltender in this third period. It has been Scooby Alla. So there has been a goalie switch, and I don't know if it's a good one at that, because as of right now, the Cougars are averaging a goal per minute in this third period as they're breaking in once again. That's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front to Kelly. Nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening?
We said, Connor, in the open, it did not matter who they rolled out on the ice. Didn't matter if it was Sam Brash. Didn't matter if it was Scooby. Didn't matter if it was Anderson. The Cougs were going to find ways to beat him. And right now, the Eagles are just kind of letting their goalies out to dry here in the first period, in the second period, in the third period as well. They're getting beat. They're looking silly. This has been a statement game so far for the Cougs.
You can honestly make it a statement weekend. I'm about to lose my voice. You might be losing your voice too. It is 9-2. What just open opportunities. This third period was over before it even started. Lex Ballard reclaims the puck on the close face-off circle. He clears it all the way to number 15 of Lucas Clark. Clark with Matthew Taylor and David Bushkin pushing him with him. Clears it all the way on the stick. Just can't get enough on the pass though. Cleared out. Number 13 is the one. Carson Kendall is the one who regroups with it. Cleared all the way to number 26, Nickish, who has a goal in this game, one of two. He makes a great move. Makes Sam Hembry miss. A great defender for this Cougs team, just looks a little silly right there. Some subs are being made as Keegan Lucas. I don't believe he has any points in this game, but he has had a great game on the defensive end. David Bushkin can't get enough off his skate. Lucas Clark regroups and settles down, making some subs. Not too many men on the ice. Good job right there by Cole Carlson by not putting his foot down on the ice, and the ref can't make the whistle. Eastern recleaning it back in the zone. Keegan Lucas going against number 4, Ethan Patrick. Number 7, Isaac Stetcher's the one to regroup, but a shot on Alexia Cool. He's trying to get it to go. Nothing there. Trying to shoot it once again, and they get it to go. Number 7, Isaac Stetcher. And this place is rocking once again, even though it is 9-3.
We are only about 3 minutes into this period, and we've already scored 4 goals. 3 for the Cougs, 1 for the Eagles right there by Stetcher. And let me tell you, Connor, I'm running out of room on my notepad to write down who the goal scorers are. It's barn burner almost, but both teams are getting a lot of goals scored.
It has been incredible. There's been 1.1 goal per minute to start this third period. It's been crazy. Cole Carlson gets one. He shoots it just a little high and wide. Honestly, at this point, I'm expecting a goal more than a save. Smelisa Hoven's the man for checking. Try and clear it out to Cole Carlson. He's battling against 2 Eagles. Number 9, Sean Smith, is the one who wins it, though. Pushing up to Joel Lust, number 19. He looking to make a move. Gets past 1, and there's a penalty going up. I believe they're going to call hooking. Might be 6-on-5. No, Lucas Robinson does a good job of touching up. With 16 minutes, 10 seconds left in this third period, it is 9-3 with WSU out in front, and the Eagles are going on the power play.
Yeah, it's going to be Ethan Maurer who got nabbed for holding there as they kind of were able to deny Joel Lusk. Definitely not the cleanest defense there. Of course, Ethan Maurer gets nabbed, has to go take a seat in the sin bin. That's rough for the Cougs, but like we said, they've been really good on the penalty kill. They even look better sometimes down a man, but I wonder if maybe the Eagles have figured out their power play in this game.
Jared Jelinek tries to center it. Seems to be the game plan for the Eagles, and that is tipped high and into the netting. Only 9 seconds have passed. on this power play.
This has been already, again, like I said, we're barely 4 minutes into the period, and this has already been one of the most exciting periods of hockey that we have seen. Not necessarily because it's been really quality hockey. It's almost laughable. The Cougs getting a lot of goals, just really easily beating Scubiala.
A good clear right there as Lucas Robinson just gets it past the stick of Tierney. Cleared away is Scubiala. He clears it, tries to get up in front to a man. David Bushkin almost had a good opportunity as there was a good pass by Matthew Taylor, just right idea at the wrong time. Battling on the boards, 2 Cougars versus 2 Eagles. David Bushkin doing a good job of just wasting time, and that's all you need to do when you're up 6 goals. Still just wasting time, and finally Joel Lusk gets his way out of it. He gets away from David Bushkin and Matthew Taylor, so do it himself. Are they going to call another penalty? No. Matthew Taylor finds himself with it. Almost gets hit. David Bushkin all by himself. Slap shot! Saved away by Scubiala. The first save of this period it might be. Coming in, we have a 3-on-2. Sean Smith moving in by himself. Has Jared Jelenik on his wing. Just can't get in time. Good job by Lex Ballard. He clears it all the way around the boards, and it's a great clear. Hits all the way to Dom DeZerkis. About a minute left on the power play. Good up to Jared Jelenik. Jelenik, him, and Lusk going back and forth. Nothing there, though, that time. Stolen away by David Bushkin, and he's able to clear, and the WSU Cougars are able to make some subs. 40 seconds left on this power play.
And David Bushkin had a really good scoring opportunity with that slap shot, like you mentioned. And Matthew Taylor got tied up with the Eagle down ice. They wanted a call, but the refs just didn't see it, so they don't call it. But let's see if the Eagles don't respond.
Shot onto Alexia Cool on his right shoulder pad, and he's able to stop this game and slow it down. 28 seconds left on the power play. 14 minutes, 38 seconds left in this third period. It's 9-3, and Smith were finally able to recollect our breath and slow it down a little bit. On the far face-off circle, it is won by the Cougs. Keegan Lucas going to battle against number 24, Sterling Myers. Keegan Lucas tumbles to the ground, tries to stick it away. All the way out to number 16, Bunch. One-timer! Almost looked like a goal as Alexi Cool looked like he gave up almost, but he stops it. Dom DeZerkis was the man on the one-timer, and Alexi Cool just holds clean between the pipes.
That is one of the best opportunities the Eagles have had all night. Dawson Bunch over to Zerkis, a clean 1T slap shot. A lot of times in the ACHA, you'll see those shots kind of just, they don't get it on their stick right. They kind of muff the shot a little bit. You don't see clean 1Ts like that a lot in the ACHA. So Dom DeZerkis kind of showing why he's one of the better players in the entire Pac-8, but unfortunately the team just isn't quite getting it done for them tonight.
As we are back to 5-on-5 hockey, and going back to what you said, the last clean 1T I want to say was Max Lazaro back in the Idaho game. WSU was able to steal it away as they might have 2-on-1. It's Van Rayner shoots it, stopped by Scubiala. Van Rayner, another shot, tips up, and he's able to steer it clean. The first shot was Evan King. He goes behind the net of Scubiala, then gives it to Van Rayner for a good opportunity shot. But Scubiala with a good save right there.
Scubiala, he's subbed into this game in the third period. He's already allowed 3 goals so far. Every single time a puck gets put on nets, like you said, Connor, you're expecting a goal more than you're expecting a save out of Scubiala. I mean, he just doesn't look super confident in the crease.
Hank Hamlet gets it stolen away from him. Pushing up is the Eagles, number 21, Jordan Russell, who gets popped on the boards. Good hit right there by Ethan Maurer. And Maurer looks a little shaken up. He's holding his arm a little gingerly. Bringing it in, Eagles once again. Ethan Maurer, another big hit, right onto Stetcher. Maurer and Evan King, and the ref takes a puck to the face, and yet they have to call it immediately.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
the ref.
That hurt me all the way up here. That got him flush. He's got the visor on that most of the players in the NHL wear. All the players at the college level wear the cages, so a puck that would have hit him in the mouth, for most of the players would have just hit off that cage and it would have rung their bell a little bit, but it wouldn't have hurt that bad. He wears that square, kind of almost looks like on the top lip. That has just got to sting. And like I've said it a lot, the ACHA refs sometimes aren't the best at getting out of the way of the play. Sometimes they accidentally collide with players or collide with the puck a lot. You see that in the NHL as well. Not quite as much. Those referees are a little bit better than the ones we have here at the men's Division II level. But, you know, it kind of comes back to bite him in the butt a little bit there. Unable to get out of the way. Just takes that right off the lip. I mean, he's going to slow the game down here. Maybe, it's going to be a face-off in the Cougars zone. So actually, this might work out really great for the Eagles. They, 5-on-5 hockey. You're in the Cougars half the zone. You get a chance to kind of breathe, maybe set up a play here. But definitely, that's got to sting if you're the official.
Well, I want to say it was Russell. Jordan Russell tried to just clear it off the glass, and it was tipped. looked, and it was a pretty hard pass that tips right into the goalie's face, and they're checking probably for blood right about now. And that is just something you do not want to see. It slows the game down, and the ref seems to be okay. He's being a man about it. And he comes right back on the ice, and everyone's giving some claps for that here in Cheney, Washington.
And this is why you gotta love hockey. You got guys who can just take pucks off the face. He's gonna hop off the ice here. He fooled us a little bit. We thought he was gonna come in and keep playing. It looks like his night is done. So it's gonna be a 3-man crew for the officiating crew tonight. And the officiating has already been a little bit dicey, so now you're down a man. So I don't know how exactly you'd say it's a penalty kill for the officiating crew here. They're down a man, so you know, I've never in my life seen this happen before.
Would you say the announcers are on the power play right now? It's a little weird situation, but it makes you wonder. We brought up multiple times, but number 7, Isaac Stetcher, tries to get a shot on net. It makes you wonder. We brought it multiple times. Ref don't see it. Ref don't call it. As Eastern's coming in by itself. Good poke check by Alexia Cool right there. Swings over and tries to clear it, and he does, and the Eagles are going to have to regroup. Swings over and tries to get up to Evan King. Swings all the way to number 11, Parker White. Wait. Another good poke check by Evan King right there, being very aggressive with his stick right now, all the way to Joel Lust. Joel Lust going 1-on-5. He has no Eagles defenders even in the zone with him. Almost tips in, almost, I want to say, shoots it off of the WSU Cougars, using them as a backboard, but Alexi Cool is able to stop it before he even goes in.
Joel Lusk is just trying to put the team on his back. Like you said, he was 1-on-5. The Eagles were going off for a change to try and get some new faces out on the ice, and Joel Lusk was just trying to do his best to kill some time and allow his guys to get out on the ice. And right there, again, he's just trying to put the team on his back. He's their point leader. He's got 31 assists, 12 goals coming into this matchup. He got another assist earlier with that Jelenic goal. So, I mean, Joel Lusk has just been the heart of these Eagles all night.
Sean Smith able to put down the saucer pass by Matthew Taylor. Trying to clear it up to Dom DeZerkis, stolen away by Van Rayner. Van Rayner puts the moves on all the way up to David Bushkin, off his skate and too far for him to regroup with it. Number 28, Liam McGowan is the one who steals it away from Bushkin. Matthew Taylor battling against 2 Eagles on the boards. And it's cleared all the way around to Dom DeZerkis. Dom, bring it to center ice. Bringing up is Sean Smith now. Joel Lust right behind him. Lust looking to set up, shoots, fires into the chest of Alexia Cool and settle down.
Eagles are finally starting to put some quality opportunities together. Like we said with that 1-T to DeZerkis, that opportunity right there was great. Sean Smith just drop pass for Joel Lust, fires a shot. I mean, it's right into the logo, right into the WSU lettering on the chest of Alexia Cool. So that's just too easy of a save to make. And the Eastern Eagles are out shooting the Cougs. 39 shots for the Eagles, only 30 for the Cougs. Yet the Cougs are winning by a 6-goal margin.
Well, Alexia Cool has 36 saves, and then both of the goalies for Eastern that are played tonight only have 21 combined. Bushkin rips one on net. Scubiola is able to add to that total.
I remember earlier in this game, I was saying that the Cougs needed to make the extra pass. They needed to stop just breaking in and immediately shooting the puck because it wasn't quite working. That was when Riley Anderson was in the net, and that was also when they were only up 2-1. Now they're up 9-3. He scored 3 goals against Scubiola in the first few minutes of this period. So really, I kind of applaud David Bushkin for that shot.
Cole Carlson tried to get a good wrist shot, which was screened away. Sam Hembry keeping it in the zone at the blue line. Now cleared away. Sam Hembry clears it back into the zone. Penalty, no, offsides was why the referee put his hand in the air. Eastern regrouping, clearing it out in front. Are they going to call icing? No, icing is called off. Hembry, the man to reclaim the puck for WSU, and it's stolen away. Jared Jelenic tries to clear it out in front like they usually do. Alexia Cool, stay strong. And they're slashing, pushing, and shoving behind the net of Alexia Cool right now.
Eli Nickish, Sam Hembry, some tempers kind of boiling over here, and I don't blame the Eagles whatsoever. You were down 9-3 against the Cougars, a team that had not beaten you for about 6 years. Nobody in the entire Cougar locker room, including Coach Lubinacci, had ever beaten you. They beat you last night 5-3 in a close game. It was a come-from-behind win for the Cougs. They had 4 goals in the third period, able to kind of propel their way to their first victory against Eastern in a long, long time. And now they're beating you in a laugher. So I do not blame Eli Nickish or Sam Hembry for having some tempers.
Well, and there's some fighting going between Sam Hembry and number 26, Jacob McKeish, once again, as there's only 3 referees, so you think the players are going to get away with just a little bit more, because it goes from 8 eyeballs to 6. Hembry trying to clear it. No, stolen away. Carson Kendall clears it around the boards. Can Luke Jurgensen, who has a hat trick in this game, and does get it out just in time. Good stick by Luke Jurgensen. Swung back out to Sam Hembry. Hembry slammed against the boards. Maybe that's a little aggression that the Eastern Eagles want to get back on him for. Stolen away is Samuelisa Hovinen. He's all by himself, going 1-on-3. Crosses the blue line into Eastern goal, and Samuelisa Hovinen slams a man against the boards. Jurgensen, the man to touch up the guy to help Samuelisa Hovinen out. Clears it out at the point. Keegan Lucas having a great game. Tries to get it. Here we go. We might have 2-on-1. No, it's 1-on-1. Can he get there in time? Sam Hembry versus Jacob Nickish, and he does it good. Throws him down, and a fight is going to break out. Yeah.
This crowd absolutely loves it. Feeling like the Coliseum in ancient Rome. They're wanting to see some fists thrown, but the refs are going to get this game under control. The ref who took the puck off the face is back out on the ice, so we have a 4-man officiating crew. But Sam Hembry, very easy penalty there for them to call. Looks like it's also going to be a penalty against the Eastern Washington Eagles as well. Well, actually, the penalty box door for the Cougs is not opening up, so it looks like they're not going to get Sam Hembry. It looked like he definitely kind of held him up and interfered with the play a little bit. I mean, you said he kind of just like bodied him down to the ground. So interesting to see that there's no penalty against Sam Hembry, but somebody for the Eagles is heading to the box. I mean, the Eagles down by 6, 9-3. Wazoo leading this game. They got 10 minutes and 40 seconds left. And just so far, the Eagles are just kind of getting smacked in the face a little bit by the Cougs.
I believe it's going to be 4-4 for about 2 minutes, as Sam Hembry will go to the box for obviously throwing down Jacob Nickish. They were having some beef for the last about a minute, you know, pushing and shoving at first behind Alexi Cole's net, then on the face-off slapping each other, doing a little lumberjack imitation. But then I believe they're going to call number 13, Carson Kendall, as he was on the end protecting, quote-unquote, his teammate and doing the pushing and shoving. So that's where the Eastern Washington penalty is going to come from. So we're going to have 4-4 for about 2 minutes. With 10 minutes and 40 seconds left in this third period, WSU is up 9-3.
Well, let's see if 4-on-4 maybe helps the Cougs a little bit. We say it all the time. The Cougs tend to do better when they're down a man. And I say it a lot, it might just be the question of too many cooks in the kitchen. So if you have 4-on-4, 4-on-4 hockey is a completely different game than 5-on-5 or even 5-on-4 or 5-on-3. There's just more ice on both sides. You maybe force yourself to have to make some extra passes. It's why 3-on-3 overtime games are really fun to watch, because you have to use that open ice to your advantage. Same thing for 4-on-4. You have a little bit more open ice. So I'd love to see if maybe the Cougs set something up on 4-on-4.
Dom DeZerikis, 4-on-4 hockey is underway. Matthew Taylor, the pass hits off of his skate. It's going to be cleared down. Should be icing. No, icing is not going to be called. Dom DeZerikis now with puck on his stick. Clears it all the way back behind to number 17, Tierney. Tierney with David Bushkin on his hip like a pistol. Cleared it back again. Eastern Washington all the way up to Dom DeZerikis. DeZerikis and Joe Lust, the two best players on this team, pushing up all by themselves. DeZerikis looking to rip one. No, not yet. Backhand maybe. Clears it back out. All the way to Tierney. Surprised there wasn't a shot there. Tierney all the way to number 19, Joel Lusk. All the way stolen away by Micah Clark. Micah Clark all around the boards with David Bushkin, and just a weak pass can't get up to Matthew Taylor in time. Eagles rechecking up, bringing it in. Joel Lusk with some momentum on his side. Lusk rips one into the shoulder of Alexi Cool. Cleared back away. Good stick right there. Bushkin clears into the board, so nothing to be found. Battling once again, Matthew Taylor. Going 1-on-3 as there's stops being made. Taylor shoved into the referee by Joel Lusk. So even the referee got a shot from there. Sean Smith up to Joel Lusk once again with Dom DeZerikis on his left side. Lusk stolen away by Cole Carlson. This is where he thrives in open ice. Cole Carlson hasn't got a goal yet in this game. Let's see if it can happen right now. Carlson makes one guy miss, another back miss. In the backhand, he shoved into the boards right there after trying to finish the goal. Luke Jurgensen, Cole Carlson and Lex Ballard out, and Keegan Lucas out for the Cougs. Shot on net, trying to tip it. Lexi Cole gets there just in time as he slides. As it a pass leads to a shot for the Eagles. Carlson once again, him and Luke Jurgensen pushing up. Jurgensen got the hat trick in the game. Jurgensen fights it off, gets to Cole Carlson. Shoved down, back to Jurgensen up in front, just can't get it to go. Maybe a little bit too excited. Keegan Lucas battling. Stolen away, here might be a 2-on-1 unless Luke Jurgensen gets back. All by themselves, one of the collects shoots, and they score! Number 3, Elijah Nickish.
Alexi Cool denied Nickish the first time from the feed from Joel Lust. One of the best saves that we'd seen from Alexi Cool, but second time's the charm. Eli Nickish, the Cougs, it was a 2-on-1 break. Lex Ballard, he chose his man. He decided, hey, I gotta try and defend Nickish. Tries to skate over, tries to get in the lane. It was too little too late. Nickish, an absolutely beautiful goal. A wrist shot, bar kind of just tic-tac-toed and in. Makes it 9-4. That's just absolutely incredible from Eli Nickish.
With that Elijah Nickish goal, that means the Twins both have a goal in this game as Jacob Nickish scored the first goal of this whole entire game, so the first goal of 13 so far. And icing's called as Ethan Maurer clears it down. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Elijah Nickish scored on 4-on-4 hockey, but there's 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in this third period. 9-4 after Elijah Nickish goal. WSU is up.
Connor, I feel like this is the longest period of my entire life. It feels like they scored 3 goals in the first few minutes. It's been slowed down time and time again. 5 goals scored already, 3 for the Cougs, 2 for the Eagles. This period is taking forever, and we're just in the second half.
Carson Kendall tried to clear it out in front. A backhand shot leads to Carson Kendall trying to tip it again. A lot of guys on Alexia Cool. Nothing's going to be called. Ref just isn't calling it. Cleared away. Good job right there by number 14, Cadence Kelly. He was able to clear it away and get some pressure off of Alexia Cool's back right there. Kelly trying to clear it back in. Hits a bunch of defenders. Van Rayner backhands it into Eagles zone. 43-33 in favor of the Eagles. The scoreboard is not in favor of the Eagles, though. Van Rayner regroups at center ice, clears it back in, and subs are going to be made, at least the offensive group for WSU. Eagles rechecking up. Cleared all the way. Ethan Maurer with a good stick on number 16, Dawson Bunch. Dawson Bunch gets it right back, though. Bunch going back and forth. Shoved against Ethan Bauer. Shoved against on the ground. Nothing's called, though. Bunch loses his stick. Jared Jelenik going against Ethan Maurer again. Ethan Maurer being very aggressive. Jelenik trying to get out in front. Jelenik tries to get a backhand on Alexia Cool. 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, none. As Dr. Seuss might say, is a scrum happens right in front of Alexia Cool's net once again as tempers are flaring.
All night, the Eastern Eagles have been trying to just stuff it past the pads of Alexi Cool. They've just been trying to get it into the crease and have somebody there to just kind of muscle it past the pads. That's not going to work against Alexi Cool. We say it all the time, he is far and away the best goaltender in the entire Pac-8 Conference. You're not going to be able to beat him that way. But for some reason, the Eagles just keep kind of trying that strategy. It just really hasn't panned out for them. Their goals have been kind of pretty goals at the end of the day. Nickish's goal was pretty great. Jacob Nickish's goal back earlier in the game was also really great. And number 7 for their team also had a really beautiful goal. That was Isaac Stetcher, who had a great goal. So their goals really haven't been those greasy goals. They just need to really get some wrist shots to try and beat Alexi Cool.
And that means you're a pretty good goaltender if only good shots can beat you. Eagles win the faceoff with 7 minutes and 16 seconds left. Tierney at the point, clears it all the way to man. Jared Jelenik rips one up and over the net of Alexia Cool. Right back to him, and they shoot and got it! A big tipper goal!
Alexi Cool is confused. I'm confused. You're a little confused. It was a mad dash out in front. I mean, it looked like Alexi Cool might have been saying that he got hit a little bit, got clipped by some guys, but definitely an interesting series of events there that result in that puck kind of ending up tickling the twine. But I mean, now it's 9-5 to the Cougs, only leading by 4 now.
And I want to say McGuire Tierney got the goal. It was they didn't go back because the Eagles want to get right back into the game and just keep that momentum going for them, so they didn't go to the faceoff line, so we couldn't see the exact number of who scored, as it was a big tipper goal and multiple Eagles in front of Alexia Cool's net. So we'll make sure to get that sooner rather than later. Joe Lust brings it back in. Eagles feeling the momentum, down 4 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game. Lust battling against Luke Jurgensen. Jurgensen clears it all the way to Cole Carlson, and icing is going to be the call.
That was a much-needed goal from the Eagles right there. You're down by about 5 goals. Now you've cut the deficit to only 4. Like Coach Lupanacci says all the time, you need 5 goals to win the ACHA. And really, that kind of means you got to win by 5. And they were winning by 6 at one point when it was 9-3. Now, then it got cut to only winning by 5 goals, and now it's cut to only winning by 4 goals. So the Eastern Eagles not out of this matchup by any means.
Luke Jurgensen's able to get it right out just in time. He hits the puck. Offsides will be called if they touch up, and good job right there by Smokes Open for not touching it, because they might have called intentional offsides. Bunch bringing in, shot on Alexi Cool, another rebound, stopped away by Alexi Cool. Good job right there for him getting back into position. Another slap shot from the point. Nothing found though. Dawson Bunch behind the net. Sam Hembry battling with him. Bunch dribbling, shoots it. Alexi Cool gloves it down immediately. 6 minutes and 1 second left in this third period, 9-5. And going back to the very first, a minute and 30 seconds left of this period, WSU scored 3 goals. If they don't score within those 3 goals within the minute and 30 seconds, it's a 5-6 game.
The defense for the Cougs recently has all of a sudden had an almost complete collapse. They've been allowing shot after shot after shot onto the net of Alexi Cool. Earlier in this game, they were doing a really great job of shutting down lanes, taking away passes, and just not letting a lot get on nets, even though they were getting outshot by the Eagles. But now, 48 shots have reached the net of Alexi Cool, and a lot of those have been very recent. The Eagles have been getting they've been peppering Cool again and again and again. So the defense for the Cougs kind of leaving Cool out to dry late in this third period.
Face-offers are battling on the boards on the far face-off circle. Like you just brought up, there's 5 goals against Alexia Cool in this game, and it's pretty rare to see a goalie who lets up 5 goals still get a 900 save percentage. Number 26 brings it in all by himself, holding each other. No calls will be made. David Bush gets slammed. Number 24, Sterling Myers gets slammed, and they're battling once again. But going back to Alexia Cool is only 2 saves away from getting that 500. Tierney from the point shoots it, another big tipper, tries to get it go. Lucas Robinson clears it. It's going to be icing, but it almost feels like the Cougars are on like the disadvantage, have one less man as there's so many shots, so many open guys in Cougar zone. Eastern's getting a lot of good opportunities right now.
You almost got to think it's reverse psychology. The Cougs went up by a huge margin. They were up by 6 goals at one point. So it tricks you into thinking that you can take your foot off the gas a little bit. And I believe the Eastern Eagles kind of recognize that. They realize that this is the moment to put their foot on the gas and maybe close the deficit.
Tierney tries to get down low to Sean Smith. Ethan Mauer's been pretty aggressive. He's getting a lot of minutes in this third period when the Cougs need some aggressiveness regardless of how much they are up. A saucer pass all the way to Joel Lusk. No, nothing's found there. He tries to backhand it. Van Rainer just clears out of the zone. It seems like the Cougs aren't pushing for offense anymore. They're just trying to get it out of the defensive zone. It is what the game plan seems to be. Ethan Mauer just going to get it out. Sean Smith trying to get it out in front. Joel Lusk tried to tip it in right there. Lusk tried to get it to Dom DeZerikis. Tierney reclaims it again just outside of the blue line. The Eagles have to regroup. WSU making some saves off of Sean Smith's skate. Stolen away by the Cougs. Micah Clark is the one trying to get it out in front. Almost a great backhand of Cole Carlson. Sahovinen, though, now with the puck, slammed against the boards. Carlson just tipped away from his stick. Now Sean Smith behind the net of Scubiala. Haven't heard his name in a while because WSU's took their foot off the gas pedal. Slammed against the boards as Luke Jurgensen loses his stick on it. Cole Carlson's able to stick it out, trying to get out in front of Sahovinen, and he gets it!
Let me tell you, Connor, I saw that goal coming from about a mile away. The forecheck from Luke Jurgensen, electric. Pins them down behind their own net, bullies them away from the puck, leaves it for Cole Carlson. He picks it up. He kind of reels out to the far wing there, and he sees the open man. Nobody was within a mile of Samuli Sahovinen out in front. They feed it to him. It's just too easy. Like we said, Scubiala averaging 7.43 goals a game, just gets beat yet again for the 4th time in this period. Samuli Sahovinen gets his first of the night, his first of the weekend as well. This first line, Carlson, Sahovinen, and Jurgensen, is just firing, clicking all cylinders.
Luke Jurgensen has 4 points in this game, 3 goals, and now 1 assist as he got the secondary assist where he was able to click it out to Cole Carlson, and Cole Carlson finds Samuli Sahovinen in no man's land if you're the Eagles, and he's able to just go top right over the shoulder of Scubiala. And any momentum that the Eagles thought they had, regardless of being down 4, is now almost put in the gutter as it's 5-10 with 4 minutes left in this third period. Carlson still back on the ice with puck possession, makes a couple guys miss, trying to clear out once again, almost gets it to Lex Ballard, but nothing is found. Ethan Patrick all the way up, pushing the defenseman, shoots on Alexi Cool, stops it right there. Good save by Alexi Cool. Carlson slammed against the boards. Luke Jurgensen slammed against the boards. And the Eagles, I don't want to say it's frustration, but they're a lot more aggressive. 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in this third period. WSU is up 10-5. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's been 15 goals in this game, and the Eagles have been doubled on the score sheet. as an icing by Luke Jurgensen brings them all the way back into Cougar zone.
This is only the Cougs' second double-digit performance so far this year. The first one was against Gonzaga back in September where they put up 11 goals. Van Rayner had 2 hat tricks in that game, but tonight, it's been Jurgensen with just 1.
At the point, a shot to Lexi Cool, trying to get some more tips. Lex Ballard doing a good job of steering it wide. Battling him and Samuel Hovenen and number 16, Dawson Bunch. It's cleared away. Eagles will have to reset. Clear back in by Nickish. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. Micah Clark all the way to Lex Ballard. An Eagle hits the ice hard, cleared high. All the way over to number 21, Jordan Russell. Jordan Russell able to battle it. Elijah Nickish has a goal in this game. Him and Micah Clark going at it. Micah Clark with a good stick, bats it down out of midair. Clark slows it down in his own zone. All the way to Lex Ballard. Ballard with a goal in this game. Honestly, anyone who's touched the puck might have a goal in this game at this point, Smith. With 50 shots on net and 45 saves for Alexia Kuhl, he still has a 900 save percentage regardless of giving up 5 goals, which is just incredible. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. Van Rayner trying to keep in the zone, just can't go. Dawson Bunch bringing it back in. Bunch maybe looking for a shot, steered away. Good defense right there. I believe that is Sam Hembry. Sam Hembry just not letting the angle of the shot get past. Hembry and Bunch going at it once again, slammed against the boards. Hembry slams Bunch. Cleared all the way to an Eagle. Tries to get it out in front. Cole Carlson with a good job. They might have a 3-on-2. No, it's Keegan Lucas, David Bushkin, and Matthew Taylor. Matthew Taylor with a back up in front to David Bushkin, and he just misses it. I believe he just missed a shot. He had the goal, but he just missed the shot. Matthew Taylor obviously talking that smack as he should.
What a great opportunity. Matthew Taylor feeding David Bushkin out in front. That connection, Taylor to Bushkin, has been absolutely amazing so far this year. We saw that a lot last night when you had David Bushkin getting that hat trick. And those are 2 guys who have played youth hockey together their entire life. Almost 14 years of them playing youth hockey, but it wasn't on the same team together. It was often against each other. This is the first time that Matthew Taylor and David Bushkin have really played on the same team together, and their chemistry has been absolutely electric. When I was talking with David Bushkin, he said that the reason why they are working and gelling so well together is the fact that they played against each other for so many years.
And we're going to have some 4-on-4 hockey to end this game as number 16, Dawson Bunch, and number 17, Van Rayner, are captain of this team, both head to the bench to at least finish night number 2 off. Lex Bauer clears it back in the zone. He was across the mid-line, so it's not going to be icing. 1:38 left. Clears all the way to Dom DeZerkis. We're one of the best stick handles in the game. Lex Bauer with a better stick in that situation right there, though. Zerkis clears it up to his man, number 21, Jordan Russell. Russell tries to backhand it. Gets to Dom DeZerkis for a slap shot. Alexi Cool with a cat-like reflex right there and was able to save it. Cole Carlson all by himself, 4-on-4, 1-on-3. Carlson rips it. Good job by Jordan Russell right there. Sending it down. Cole Carlson gets slammed against the boards. Nothing's going to be called. But Cole Carlson gets up like nothing ever happened. That's the captain right there, Luke Jurgensen. Clears it back up. Dom DeZerkis. The seconds are officially ticking. There's less than 60 seconds left in this game where the Cougs lead with 5 goals, 10-5. Bringing it up in once again. Tries to clear it out in front. Seems to be the game plan. Joel Lusk now sent up to front. No one's found, though. Another shot hits Lex Ballard's skate. He's able to save a shot. Lusk once again against Ballard. Makes him miss. Lusk shoots. Saved away. Good pad save right there by Alexi Cool. 35 seconds left and another shot to Alexi Cool as he saves it once again. 33.7 exactly left in this third period. WSU up 10-5.
I'll tell you, Connor, I've seen some crazy comebacks, but I do not think a 5-goal comeback with only 33 seconds left in the final frame is in the cards here for the Eastern Eagles. It's definitely a tough pill for them to swallow. This was a game that was going to determine who's 4th and who's 5th place in the pack, and so far, the Cougs have solidified themselves as the 4th place team.
Bushkin bringing it up, gets popped and shoved to the ice immediately. David Bushkin takes a shot, but gets up like nothing happened. Bringing up Elijah Nickish with a goal in this game. Nickish with less than 20 seconds, try to get out front to number 5. And Lexico stops it once again.
Jordan Russell has taken the score personally, just absolutely, like you said, popped David Bushkin. He tried to bring it into the zone, just I mean, kind of cross-checked him from the source, kind of just double punched him in the chest, muscled him down to the ground. That's got to hurt. But the Eagles, they're trying to score, but at this point, it's just for pride.
10 seconds left. Bushkin is battling against Jordan Russell once again, just on the boards to officially hear that horn sound after a dominant win. And Jordan Russell throws David Bushkin to the ground, wrestling style. Jared Jelena gets up in there. But as the buzzer sounds, Christmas came early for the WSU Cougars as they sweep the Eastern Washington Eagles on this weekend, and the Cougs celebrate as this was the first, not one, but 2 wins for Coach Lupinacci in his coaching career since he's been at WSU against the Eagles in dominant fashion as they win 10-5. Smith, it's the end of the game. There can't be any more goals. We lost our voices probably. What was this game all about, basically?
Let me tell you something, Connor. I had absolutely no idea when I pulled up to the ice rink today that the Cougs were going to have a double-digit scoring performance against the Eastern Eagles. Last game, the first 2 periods of that game was the Eagles showing why they may deserve to be the number 4th place team in the entire Pac-8 conference. They were dominant. They just kind of smothered the Cougs in every aspect of the game. And that 3rd period was one of the best comebacks I've ever seen this team make in all the games that we've called here for KUGR. I've never seen a comeback like that. You score 4 unanswered goals to be able to snag night number 1. But looking at that game, I would not have thought that a 10-game performance was in the cards for the Cougs. They had said after that game they were kind of worried the Eastern Eagles were going to come out a little bit more aggressive. They were going to be more physical. They were going to make it a harder game. We said it before, the Cougs struggle playing Saturday games, but they had absolutely no problem this Saturday playing against the Eastern Eagles because they understood the stakes for this game. These two games in this series were what was going to determine who is 4th place in the Pac-8 and who is 5th place in the Pac-8. And right now, it's the Cougs sitting snugly at that number 4 spot and the Eagles just below them as the Cougs snag 6 crucial points in the conference.
Well, like you just brought up, we're now officially like that top 4 range. Like it's pretty clear. This was a huge weekend as Eastern was only back 2 games to start before that Friday night game. They were only back 2 games of WSU. So if it goes the opposite direction and Eastern sweeps, they cop into that 4th spot. But WSU proves who the better team is, especially just this weekend. And they're now up 4 games on Eastern Washington. What a special performance by all of the team right now. As we talked about unusual suspects, Luke Jurgensen got a hat trick. Nico Umale got 2 goals. Throw in Van Rainer, the trash man. Just so many goals. And even Alexi Cole still had a 500. It's almost incredible. You just can't make it up.
It was basically a team effort from the Cougs tonight. It was Lucas Clark who got it going. Lex Ballard gets his 2nd goal as a Coug. Van Rainer, the trash man, gets another power play goal. Then Jurgensen, then Umale, then Jurgensen again. And then in the final frame, in the first 3 minutes, it was Jurgensen to complete the hat trick, Nico Umale to get his 2nd, to put him on the hat trick watch. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the hat trick tonight. But then it's Van Rainer for his 2nd of the game, and then Samui Sahoven to cap it all off. Again, it's some of the usual suspects, but it's mainly the unusual suspects for the Cougs. People who haven't scored in quite a long time, able to be the main driving forces behind this win. And if you talk to head coach John Lupinacci, we're talking about placing in the Pac-8 conference. He knows the number 1, number 2, and number 3 spots are going to be dominated by 3 schools. Cal Berkeley, the University of Washington, and Western Washington University. They are going to own the top 3 spots. That was very apparent at the beginning of this year. The Cougs got swept by all 3 of those teams, and the Eagles got swept by all 3 of those teams. It's a given that they are going to be the number 3 spot, the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 spot in the entire Pac-8 conference. So talking with head coach John Lupinacci, he said that the Cougs, the mentality is, okay, 1, 2, and 3, that's taken. But is number 4 up for grabs? It was, and they just took it right there. A statement. When you didn't just beat the Eagles, you put up 15 combined goals between these 2 games. You just, to be perfectly honest with you, you embarrassed the Eagles on their home ice in front of all their fans. And even though there were a lot of Eagles fans here tonight, there were a lot of Coug fans as well. When the Cougs scored, it got loud. The barn was definitely buzzing. And the Eagles fans definitely have a very, very sour taste in their mouth. And I'll be interested to see how maybe this series factors into when the Cougs possibly maybe play them in the Pac-8 playoffs.
Well, overall, just utter dominance, a game that resulted into 15 goals. There's no doubt about it. It's all smiles by Coach Lupinacci and the WSU Cougars in that locker room. Is 10 goals and a great comeback win in night number 1. I'm Connor Simmons, joining the booth, my partner in crime, Smith Slye. Shout out Zach McFarland for being a great cameraman tonight. Make sure you guys subscribe. This is KUGR Hockey, and we'll see you guys next time.